hello, hello. Welcome to Pick Central, Barstool's daily gambling show. This Friday, Friday the 13th.
Oh,
not great.
We'll
get past that, though. Kind of a weird day to be Friday the 13th. We won't get into that either.
Hot start.
But today's show is brought to you by Cars.com, which is great. Cars.com is a leading digital marketplace that connects car shoppers with their perfect cars, celebrating 25 years of helping shoppers research, find inventory, finance, and sell cars wherever life takes you next and whoever you're looking to be. There's a car for that on Cars.com. Up to 50,000 cars added daily to Cars.com. Shop over 2 million cars for 2 million possibilities. So last time 2 million might as well be endless. I can't count to 2 million. Endless possibilities. We've talked about it many times. Cars.com is the best. It's annoying going to the dealership, haggle. Clemmer talks about I'm not a car guy as well. You're not either. We don't know about cars, but it's good to go Cars.com and do a little research, know what you're talking about. Smooth, easy.
Privacy, your own home. You don't need to look or feel like you're asking stupid questions. You can look it up on your own.
Bada bing, bada boom, Cars.com. You're in or you're out. You get what you need. Shout out Cars.com. God bless. Gentlemen, Smitty. Smitty, I can't hear you.
One
second.
One.
Good.
Gotcha, Smitty.
Got me? I love the fact that you texted, give me the rock today in the host chair, feeling fast and loose.
I woke up feeling good. I thought I was going to be. I woke up. Thank God I texted Spider. I was going to show up. I thought I had a flight this morning until about late last night. I don't have a flight. My flight is tomorrow morning. So we're here. So we're feeling good. It's like some free baseball. Was supposed to be here. Feel good. Love talking sports with the boys on Friday. I guess we'll start a little baseball. We'll get into football, but we'll start with baseball. Smitty, congratulations. Big dub last night. Back in the NLCS. Thoughts?
You got my thoughts yesterday. I said the Braves were dead behind the eyes and that the Phillies were going to roll. There was no coming back to what happened at Game 3 at Citizens Bank Park, and it's exactly what happened. And I almost feel bad for the Braves fan base at this point because the Atlanta Braves, is Meek here?
He's not. We just got Dukes back.
No, but another season down the drain.
The Atlanta Braves have to be the softest organization of all fucking time, on and off the field. Talk about on the field. You lead the majors with the most prolific offense in history, tie the record for most regular season home runs with the 19 Twins. And you get out-dingered 11-3 during a 4-game series, essentially. You had your ace, your cock of the walk on the mound twice in 4 games. He loses both. You have Ronald Acuna, the MVP of the league, batting 154, and then not talking to the reporters after the game, going straight to the bus after he is flapping the wings in a regular season game during the 5th inning in Philadelphia after hitting a home run. You have Orlando Arcia jawing at the crowd, doing a childish woo, and the fucking dugout. These guys are fucking losers, and the fan base, they're there for the ride. They're going to defend their guys no matter what. I feel bad for the Brave fan base. I feel bad for Big T. He doesn't deserve this. He really doesn't deserve how the Braves, for the second straight year, got fist fucked by the Philadelphia Phillies.
Good old fisting.
I was at the Barstool Samson bar last night, which is unbelievable, and it was all Phillies fans. I took a picture with the bottle service thing saying "fuck the Braves," and I was just like this. Like, I was a Phillies fan last night. It was awesome. Arcia looked like the biggest loser of all time. The Braves just became hateable this series. Like, they just have the Philadelphia Phillies have made the Atlanta Braves very hateable, and not like no one wants to watch them. But the city, I felt it in the city yesterday. It was just fantastic. I think the Phillies Diamondbacks is a win-win situation for us.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And it's a win. And it's a win-win for both teams. The Phillies obviously are getting there again. Diamondbacks already overachieved. The Diamondbacks remind me of the Phillies of last year, to be honest.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
I think the Phillies are a well-oiled machine way too much now. They just beat the best team in the league. They can go up against any pitcher right now. The pitching staff can shut the shit down. 4 games with the most prolific offense of all time. 0 runs, 5 lucky runs, basically on 2 hits. and then 1 run, and I think game 3 was what, 2 runs?
Yeah, 2.
10-2. And what more can you say? What more can you do? I saw tied plus 185 to win the World Series right now with the Astros. They have home field advantage against the Diamondbacks. If they were to win that, they get home field advantage against either Rangers or Astros.
It's also like playing in Arizona ain't hard. Like it's not like you're going. It's still home field advantage for them, but like it's not like you're scared to go to Arizona.
The Phillies, the previous couple of years, have actually had fits out there.
It also might be bad. Sometimes when you go to Atlanta, they're all in your face. It's a crazy atmosphere. You kind of sometimes when it's a relaxed atmosphere, it's almost like you play a little more relaxed.
But they're not going to take the Diamondbacks lightly. They're just not. They know what they're doing right now, and having that home field advantage is huge. They're now I think 25-11, 26-11 all time at Citizens Bank Park, which is the greatest record of all time in any ballpark in Major League history. It is a thing. Like you saw it last night. There is a fucking fuck you factor at that place that ain't going away through the World Series. And shout out to Rob Topper Thompson, Philly Rob. He's 5-0 now in closeout games in the playoffs. This guy was a bench coach for all of his career with your Yankees. Shout out. Thank you very much for letting him go. And came in an interim status. Last year, he saved his last day's spring training pregame pamphlet or whatever because he was going to retire at the end of last year and just walk away in the sunset. He became interim manager, went to the World Series last year, and this year,
you're good.
And this year he's going to fucking win it all. It's unbelievable what he's doing.
So I want to jump in here a little bit. So I think the Phillies look obviously fantastic against the Braves, especially. I mean, that Braves team is very good. The Phillies whoop their ass. And, now you're playing the Diamondbacks, who, of the 4 teams left, in my opinion, the Diamondbacks are significantly weaker than the other 3. The Phillies do have the easiest path to get back. I think the Astros and Rangers actually could be a pretty competitive series. The Diamondbacks do have Gallen and Merrill Kelly going 1-2, and in theory 6-7. But I just think that Phillies rotation is deep, and I think you guys have a really good chance of making it back. In fact, I think if I was setting the lines here, well, good thing I'm not because I lose every bet I make on baseball recently.
Oh, this is a big Phillies line for you. It's minus 200.
Yeah, it's true. I would say that the Phillies should be the most favored team to win the World Series because I think their path is that much easier than the Astros and Rangers.
I agree with you on that. And to be honest with you, I'd almost rather play the Astros right now than the Rangers. Just Bruce Bochy and the World Series. I don't really want to mess with that mojo. Either team's going to be really tough, but you can't look past the Diamondbacks. You say Kelly and Gallen are both great, but you know what? Wheeler and Nola looking pretty good. Rangers Suarez looking pretty fucking filthy. They haven't even seen Christopher Sanchez or Tyler Walker this series, and you don't need to when you guys got guys coming out of the pen and just shoving shit down left and right.
Fuck.
It's all right, Dukes.
You got it, Dukes. We'll get there, pal.
Wait, hold on. My bad.
I was like, what did Smith say?
I'm struggling with bringing up. Can I bring up the Arcia video though?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So.
Yo, what a boy.
This is not a great look for the Braves.
It's embarrassing.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God.
Even Acuna's like, yo, stop being a fucking idiot.
How old is Arcia?
It's probably mid-20s.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Not young, like too young?
No.
I don't think so.
No. And sneaky putting Vaughn Grissom up in the most important situation of the season. Come on,
I thought this. I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that. I thought kind of the same thing.
Arcia's 29, by the way. He's been in baseball since 2016. You can't be doing that.
No.
What are you doing putting Vaughn out there?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, before we get off baseball, with Smitty, I want to ask. So, I guess you got to win the series. Obviously, next one's the most important. It just reminded me when you brought up Bruce Bochy, you didn't mention a certain other manager who's just slandered quite a bit by the name of Dusty Baker.
Yes. Yeah.
Who I guess is at least got a year off from your wrath until maybe next week.
Yeah, well, I think you can ask any Astros fan if you replace Dusty Baker with Chris Clemmer's dead ball corpse.
Why? What?
they would still win a World Series.
You don't think I'd be a good manager, Smitty?
That's also so wrong, Smitty. That's so wrong. This season they had so many injuries. They had so many different things. I think he actually was a fantastic coach this year.
Question.
Hey, give Dusty credit. He got his ring.
Don't
Question
hit.
for all of
Wait,
you.
Dukes. You hit a button.
Everything's
Everything's
Oh my
black.
God. What is going
The
on?
lights just went out here at the studio. Don't worry, we're gonna turn them back on.
We're good. We're still here. Stay with us, people.
Sitting in darkness right
Yeah,
now.
there we
Oh,
go,
turn the
back.
lights
Okay.
back on. There we go.
Fine,
He's
I
raising
know what
his
it was.
hand.
My camera's off. My camera's off. I don't know why it's off, but it's off.
Yeah,
I
I don't want to
fucking love
poke
you,
the
Dukes.
Dusty Bear again like I did
but
last year. He's obviously a Hall of Fame manager.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not a Hall of Fame manager. Nope.
Okay, all right. I mean,
If he
you said
wins,
it.
what if they win it this year?
And then it becomes a different discussion.
Why is he not a Hall of Fame manager?
He has
He's
one
won
ring. He has one title.
He's been around forever.
Okay, he has one
And
ring.
He's been to what, one more? With
How
the
many?
Giants?
There's not that many managers in the Hall of Fame. First off, and then all right, we already have Bochy in there. Terry Francona has 2 rings, right? We put him ahead of him, right? Joe Torre didn't get in the Hall of Fame until pretty recently. It takes a lot. to get in the Hall of
That's just ludicrous.
Fame. I agree. They take a while on managers.
I didn't know that. That's kind of.
But don't you guys agree that Francona is ahead of Baker?
I'd agree he's probably a better manager. Yeah,
He has 2
He's
rings.
a better manager.
You're saying
Well,
I
if
know.
Dusty goes this one, it'll be his third in the last 4 or 5 years.
It'll be his. No, it'll be his 2nd ring. It'll be his.
No, I'm saying the third he's been to.
Yeah, and he went to 1 with the Giants in 2002 as well. So he had 4 pennants. If he wins another one,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh, he wasn't. For some reason, I get lost. He wasn't the manager when they lost to the Braves.
I think
He was.
I think Francona has done more with less.
Wait, who was the manager when they lost to the Braves a couple years ago?
That was.
Was it not
Hinch.
Dusty, or was
Hinch.
it was Hinch?
Yeah, because remember Hinch didn't put Garrett Cole out.
That's
for the
right,
seventh
that's
or
right,
for-
that's
Yeah, it was Hinch,
which
and
was
then-
barbaric, by the way.
So Baker obviously won a pennant with the 02 Giants,
Mm.
and then he won one last year,
Yeah.
and then in theory he gets there again. So, but I don't know. To me, Francona, you remember he had also won a pennant with the Indians too. So I don't know.
He also lost 90 games consistently with the Phillies.
When
Stop it.
when did the
Smitty.
Braves
That
win the
was,
World Series?
21.
So
Yeah.
Hinch wouldn't have been the coach then, right?
No, everything happened after that series.
Was it? Or was it
No,
before?
no. It was because during COVID, the
I can-
Astros got saved by COVID.
We can look this up.
I'm not even a ball guy.
Well, that's what I was thinking in my head too. I was like,
No,
well, that wasn't that
it's
long
definitely
ago.
not Hinch. Hinch, it all happened before COVID. Hinch got fired.
I want to say it was Dusty.
Because Marty, your whole thing is the Astros got saved by COVID. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't make sense that they won the World Series.
No,
after
because
COVID.
Hinch was the coach who didn't put.
Nah, I'll
Garrett
put my
Cole.
ball sack on the line. Hinch wasn't the coach. No.
Duke's ball sack is safe. Dusty Baker was the manager in 2021.
That's what I thought. I was going to say this would be this if they win, it'd be the third World Series.
Well, right.
with
I-
the-
So
They did get saved by
Hinch and the Garrett Cole was against the Nationals in 19. Then.
Did you see that?
yeah, that was a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yes. Yes. Hinch was 2019, as well as 2017, obviously. And Baker. So this would be Baker's, I said, 4th pennant, which is, that's when you start having the discussion. Right. So maybe we're a series away from that argument.
Yes, that was baseball. So when is it? So the series starts when?
Wait, before we
Sunday is
Rangers,
AL.
Astros
Monday is NL.
That's what it says. So
we could all agree this is the worst playoffs of all time.
No. Oh, you mean so far up until this point?
Yeah.
Oh, these plays have been horrible.
It's been so bad. It has not been compelling at all. And that was the best series.
I mean, we haven't
far.
we haven't had a do or die yet for both teams.
Yeah.
There's been 8 series. 6 have been sweeps.
That's what I'm saying. We haven't had one series get to the final.
Oh, we only had 2 series get even beyond 1 game.
It's crazy.
And to be honest,
And to be honest, the Astros Rangers might be the only one that goes the distance.
Oh, the distance is hard. I mean, best of 7 is tough.
I'll be honest,
Yeah.
it's not even
Give me a 6-game
these
series.
4 games aren't even these 4 teams aren't the most the matchups aren't that compelling.
Well, it's because you're a Yankee fan.
No.
You live in a prison where if it's not Yankee
I
baseball,
don't think
you
it's
really care
crazy
that
to say the Phillies and Diamondbacks are not the most sexy matchup. That's
The Phillies got some magic to them that
no,
make
the
them
Phillies.
interesting.
No, it's not about the Phillies. It's the the Diamondbacks. We have
Diamondbacks
to all agree.
have one of the greatest rookies ever. They have a legit
Clemens,
ace.
You guys are crazy.
No, but
you
Clemens-
guys are literally insane.
It's
If you
not
think
like
that the
You're a baseball
Diamondbacks.
purist, not
Yeah,
a
you're
casual
thinking
fan.
about
Right.
you looking at the matchups I can't wait to watch a Phillies
No,
Diamondbacks.
I'm sure the Fox executives aren't excited. They
If
would
it was-
rather.
That's with the point I think it's
Yes, if it's
Yeah, well,
Phillies
what
Dodgers,
happens-
we're all watching that.
What happens if the Diamondbacks take Game 1 though?
It helps,
Everybody
no,
interested?
for sure. Like I like it. I like the Diamondbacks. I love watching them. I understand it, but I'm talking just mostly about like the look of it is not like the sexiest four.
No, the
teams
ratings.
left.
The ratings will likely take a hit this year. Unless it's.
Well, let me tell you something.
Philly.
If it's Astros Phillies, it's going to be electric.
The only problem is Houston's not a huge media market. Not as huge as say like L.A. or New York or so you run into that a little bit. They don't have the same like regional love like a Red Sox team has.
They've just won. They've kind of like played themselves into like blue blood, if you will. If
Right.
that's what you want to call it.
Yep.
They've just been so good this last like 10 years, and they've won multiple rings and this and that. So they've
But
kind of
if
played
this-
themselves into it.
If this Diamondbacks roster was on the market of the Cubs, and this was the series Cubs Phillies,
Oh, it'd be
I think
insane.
it'd be pretty compelling.
Oh,
It'd be
100%.
insane.
It's just the market.
It's just the
Diamonds.
Diamondbacks just get that look of like, it's the Diamondbacks. Good for them. It's sad.
Yeah, that's why they beat you in 0-1.
Yeah, no.
Took them lightly.
Nice.
I have
Seriously,
a question.
that was after 9/11. That was the most money bet of all time. It had to have been the Yankees were going to win the World Series. I mean, you won 4 already. Everyone's rooting for you.
Yeah, but even I mean,
Dallas does that.
So I mean, I bet on that series. I'm sadly that old. But you had Schilling and Randy Johnson going 1-2. So I was like the Diamondbacks are going to win this no problem. I was surprised it was as close as it was, even though the Yankees were coming off 3 straight World Series, just because the Diamondbacks look so amazing.
So do you guys think it's the rematch?
I don't know. I think actually I think I like the Rangers. I think the Rangers line was plus 120 to win the series.
It is.
I'm gonna just take that. I think because I think it's actually pretty even between these two teams. I'm not saying I think the Rangers are gonna win, but I just like the value of that bet more because I think it's pretty much a coin toss.
I think the Rangers established themselves again in that Rays series.
I think I'm going Phillies in 6, Astros in 7.
Why 6?
Just the number that caught my head.
I like 5. Well, here's why I push back on 6 because you're likely to face Gallon in Game 6. So you're basically saying I like Phillies in 5, or
wouldn't Merrill Kelly go 1?
Kelly going 1. So then
I don't know. I'm asking. I'm not sure what they're doing.
I don't know if they've even announced who's pitching.
Yeah, because
this game.
Gallett's usually been pitching the second game.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they'll try to use Gallon in 1 if they can. I don't know about the rest. And they haven't
but,
announced anything yet.
But Clemmer, you realize Game 6 where it's played.
I do.
Yeah, so I think that's what happens. I think it's Phillies in 6, and it's really toss up for me.
I think it's
It
Phillies.
really is.
I say Phillies in 5.
It could be.
I mean, we
because-
also have to like, and I get the Phillies are better. They definitely are, but the Diamondbacks really have a little bit of that magic right now too.
They do.
They both do for sure.
Oh, Diamondbacks
They
are
do.
5-0, right? In the playoffs, they haven't lost a playoff game
Haven't
yet.
lost.
I'm not saying, the Phillies are definitely going to win this the series and then the World Series, but it would shock me if the Diamondbacks win. It would.
It pretty
Wouldn't
much
it?
shocked me with the Dodgers, so I agree.
Yeah,
The
the Phillies are that much of a better team, but unlike the Braves, they're actually playing like they're that much of a better team.
But the Dodgers did. I never liked the Dodgers' chances anyway because although I like the Dodgers against the Diamondbacks' chances, so I'm not saying that. But I just think Miller and then having Lance Lynn go Game 3, that's a different team.
Breathing.
Sorry, I'm stressed back here.
It's all good.
You all
dude.
right?
We're
I
grinding.
didn't know. I thought I was muted. Yeah, it's a little
grinding. It's
anxiety,
Friday.
Beth.
That was.
It's a little anxiety.
Can I
Beth.
tell you something,
Oh
Dukes?
man,
You
I thought
are,
that was Big Ev's apnea.
You're absolutely amazing today.
It was like Michael
This is
Myers.
Making me. This is making the show.
Smitty thought I just fell asleep.
Yeah.
We'll use
Boys,
that.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good, dude. We'll transit off baseball. We'll just quickly before we get into. I got all the stuff for the college slate, NFL slate this weekend, but talk about last night's NFL game. Not a ton to talk about. It's pretty kind of a snoozer. Easy win if you had the under.
Tough for you.
Yeah, tough that they end up losing on the hook on the field goal. The Broncos. Is there any concern? Kansas City won the game obviously, and then they covered. But any concern on anybody on Kansas City?
So they're 5-1.
Offensively, they just haven't looked. I don't know. They
haven't looked good.
like Mahomes has made it. Like you see him make a lot of those good plays on third down to Kelsey. Kelsey had a huge game. But I don't know. They just don't look the same. Like they don't have that same. And I'm not saying they can't do it or even that they won't do it. I'm simply just like posing the question. They just don't look quite as explosive.
They don't have that long play. They don't have that deep ball right now of a guy who's going down there and catching that ball that Mahomes loves to throw. If you look at Mahomes' stats last night, I think it was
He threw for almost 300 yards still. Or like
300,
around it.
307 yards. A touchdown, and he had an interception. I don't know if they ran it.
Yeah, they threw the one touchdown to Tony.
Yeah. So he had one touchdown, one interception, 307 yards. They're not scoring in the red zone like they usually do as well. Like Travis Kelce had a great game yesterday. He had like 160 yards or whatever.
Yeah, a ton of catches. Yeah.
But like, you're right. They only one game have went berserk, and that was 40 points against the Bears, which we all know that's not hard to do. Their defense is the one that's been the most impressive, which is crazy. I don't know. I'm always like, they're winning, so they're 5-1. Like, how can you say it? But they have not put together great offensive games.
I mean, think about last night. I mean, they scored 19 they ended up scoring on a defense that's been the worst in the NFL. Atrocious. Let up 70.
And also, if you think about it, they've played the Jets, the Bears, and the Broncos in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
Which is like not the hardest, pretty easy schedule. So when they start playing these harder teams, maybe like I think they
beat the Jags too, and then they lost to the Lions, and then I forget who else they beat. But yeah, they haven't been. They'll be fine. I feel like they've kind of taken the deep ball out for a while, just because they were getting beat so over the top all those years with Tyreek, with Hill. That I feel like everyone just started playing this the kind of the deep zone on them, just having like 2 guys back as a safety, just like not getting beat over top, and that's where the Patty Chicklets thing almost became real, because he was just dicing everybody ever up with these like short passes.
Yeah,
and he's still doing that. I mean, obviously they're coming off a Super Bowl win.
Listen, I'm excited for when they play the Dolphins in London, and then they play the Eagles. Like, that's going to be an amazing.
Yeah, that's a nice stretch. That'll be a nice like test for like radar
like
test.
2 weeks.
How good they are, how good they're playing.
Genuine question for you guys: do you guys think you would think Taylor Swift has the pleasure of watching the Chiefs play football? Like, you're like, wow, this is awesome. Do you think there's a little part of her that's like, Patrick Mahomes isn't that good? Like,
well, her and Brittany are pounding it up.
Do you not kind of see where I'm talking about?
Yes,
we all know what Patrick Mahomes is, and like you see the Bears games, like that's what he does. But like in the Jets game, didn't look like the best quarterback in the league. It's not necessarily like last night. You'd be like, wow.
They also win.
He looked horrible against the Jets.
She's up there.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
no, yeah.
She's up there being like, my man is bailing him out all
yeah. Yeah, I was like having this thought.
She's gonna have a sit down with Brittany, and be like, "Hey, talk to your man, do better."
Yeah, we got to trade for this Zach Wilson guy.
We're gonna probably stop getting that soon too. She's got like her movie and she's going on tour. Like she's 3-0.
Yeah.
She's 3-0.
But last night they showed her way less than they had in the past.
Yeah,
way less. They did show her still a few times, but
you thought so?
I thought significantly, because the Jets game they showed her nonstop, and the Bears game they did too. Last night they showed her a few times for sure, but
Al Michaels was like, "We're not going to bring it up tonight." And before the game started, I was watching the pregame because I was in the office. She got shown on TV 6 times.
As big as Al Michaels is, he doesn't make like.
Oh, Jeff Bezos was like, "We got one Taylor."
Yeah. Those decisions are made by like.
Yes.
Bezos is like,
guys, you don't even know their name that make like $50 million a year. You never even heard of them.
I thought it was more egregious, and Dave tweeted it, that ESPN had her on the front page as a recap of the game.
They're milking.
That's
it.
absurd.
They're milking it. Absolutely milking it.
I will say yesterday, I know the Chiefs' offense hasn't looked 100% right. Yesterday, Andy Reid was almost doing stuff to self-sabotage his team. Like, he was doing all these kind of wacky trick plays. I think he was bored.
They did
the Broncos are so shitty.
They did the fake field goal where they ran up and tried to do a sneak from like 2 yards that they got stuffed.
Never seen that before.
Yeah. You know, that was I had that thought in the moment. I actually thought of Smitty when they did that. I was like, Smitty's going to say something about that. But I think, you know what it is? It's some of these guys, like Andy Reid's one of them, where they're such an offensive genius.
Yes.
Every now and then they're going to get a little too cute.
Yep.
It just kind of comes with the territory. Like, when you're that sharp of an offensive mind, you're going to outthink yourself every now and then.
Mike Moritz would do that all the time with the Rams, way back when. He would do, it was like, you're making this too hard for yourself. It can be easier.
Like if I'm like, think about the play they ran for the Tony touchdown. It literally was like a 3-yard out where he just was wide open.
Yes.
Just like bang, like stick the snap, bang, touchdown, easy. Like not even a thought. Like there was nothing they could do to defend it. That's when he's at his best. When things look that easy, it's simple like that. That game's done. We'll move on to college. We'll just go through I wrote down all the biggest games in college. We'll go through all. We don't have a hard out at 12, so we kind of just go through what we want to go through. I have all the NFL lines written down as well. Honestly, this game, legitimately, I think it's the game I'm most excited for of all the entire college football season so far. Oregon at Washington.
I can't wait.
Washington -3 at home. The total is 66.5. I locked in my bet last night, gentlemen. I took the Ducks.
Let's go,
The
Ev.
Ducks. I like Washington. I really like Penix. I think Penix he's been the best quarterback in the country. You could argue Caleb Williams, him 1A, 1B. He's been like as good as Williams. He's been incredible. Their offense has been incredible. I took the Ducks because I said it yesterday a little bit. I just think their offensive line and defensive line is better. I think that they're going to be able to push Washington around. Like Oregon's offensive line is going to be able to push Washington around a little bit. Washington's defense is definitely, it's not horrible, but it's definitely their weakness. Like they're not great on all. They definitely let up some points. I think they're going to be able to out physical them here and keep it to make it a super close game. The total keeps going down, which just keep me away from betting the over, because I just think it's one of those where I think they both, if you put both their averages of how much they score, it'd be over this total. It almost just seems a little too easy for me. I think Oregon shows up, plays a little defense, makes it hard on Washington for the first time this year. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So obviously, Marty, you're on the Ducks, obviously.
Yeah, well, I mean, I always I always struggle with this one because I have an 18-1 future on them, so it's like I already bet on them, but
A potential middle?
of course, yeah, I was maybe like I almost took a future on Washington as well because just like
Oh, I thought you
whatever
said your
get-
future was on Washington.
No, my future's on
So-
Oregon.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So I have an
got it,
18
got
one
it.
on Oregon. I was thinking about taking one on Washington as well because like whoever wins this game has a better chance. Like if
And
Oregon
honestly,
loses,
the loser of this
tough.
game is not dead.
No, they're not.
Especially a close game.
They're not.
It could just, honestly, this game could end up just being a rematch in the Pac-12 title game.
I just think that Penix obviously has been playing out of his mind. He hasn't played anybody yet, though. He hasn't. They beat Arizona by 7 2 weeks ago. Like nothing crazy. Like Arizona, I don't think is the best team. I think Oregon, like you said, I think they have more men on that offensive line or defensive line. Like I think
Both sides.
I think defensive line, they have a better defense than Washington. I think that they are just. I think Bo Nix is also doing exactly what he needs to do. I think Penix is a better quarterback, but I think that Bo Nix is not going to turn the ball over and going to play his game. I think he's a lot more comfortable playing in these away games now. And I think that's the only advantage that Washington really does have is the quarterback, which is helpful, obviously, but being at home as well.
Yeah.
But is it a tough place to play? I have no idea.
Yeah, Washington's tough. It's honestly it's a bucket list for me as a big college football fan.
Really?
It's literally on the water.
Yeah.
They call it sailgating. They have boats
That's
where you literally tailgate on boats and it comes up and you like get off and go into the stadium. It's
I
sick.
plan on going to this game actually.
I want to go to Washington so bad. I hope college football show we go at some point in the future.
Can I have a devil's advocate for Marty?
Please, go ahead.
Yeah, but who has really Oregon played?
No, that's
Fair. No,
also
they both
too-
haven't played
They haven't
anybody
played-
crazy.
They
Like
only
anybody.
Totally fair.
technically played Colorado when Colorado was hot in the streets, so
Yeah.
like people think of that as like a big game, but I know it's nothing. They haven't played one either. That's why
They both have kind of had egg games where like you talk about the Arizona game with Washington, and then Oregon had that same game with Texas Tech.
yes.
So they both have
yes.
kind of had a game where they played a decent team, didn't look that great.
That's why like I think this is a we'll find out who these teams are this week.
I think when I envision this game, I think Oregon's going to run the ball. I think they're going to be able to run the ball, and I think that's going to be the difference. I think they're going to try to take it out of Penix's hands. Just like you saw the way they were able to do it. Not that, listen, Washington's front seven I think is a little better than Colorado's, especially the D line. But I think Oregon is good enough they can just churn like 4 or 5 a pop and just kind of grind them down like that. That's why I'm going with Oregon.
I have a question. So Penix is plus 225 for the Heisman.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams plus 240. Bo Nix plus 650. Does that switch if Bo Nix wins this game?
If they win, if Oregon wins and he
Depend-
plays well, he puts up a few touchdowns, I could see it for
Unless
sure.
like Penix, unless they win like 50-47, you know, like as long as Penix, if Penix fucking goes off, still.
Oh yeah,
I think
he'll still be.
stay.
His numbers are nuts.
But I do think that's a good. That's a good bet too. Just Bo Nix right
Yeah,
now.
like if you're thinking Oregon's going to win this game. maybe
I
Bo
don't
Nix
think
plus
Caleb Williams
650
wins it
along
again.
with it.
I don't think he wins it again.
I'm gonna say if we wanted, we could just get into that game next. We have USC at Notre Dame. Notre Dame minus 2.5 at home. The total's 60. Notre Dame's this is their 4th ranked game in a row. They had Ohio State, they had Duke, they had Louisville last week, and now USC comes to town. I like Notre Dame.
Am I crazy to love the under here?
I don't.
Yes.
I am. I just think I don't think Notre Dame
think-
could score that much.
I think I almost think they go hand in hand. Like I think if you like Notre Dame, you should like the under.
That's what
I think if you like USC, you should probably like the over.
Yeah.
My thing with USC is they're very similar to they were last year. They obviously have this incredible offense. Caleb Williams is great receivers. They just can't stop anybody. They have no defense, and I think ND's like that's where I think if they can just run the ball, I want them to do the same thing that I think Oregon can do. Like and Notre Dame's at home, even which helps them even more on the grass. If they can just and have success running the ball and just slow the game down, I think that can put them in like USC in a very tough spot. Where if they can grind them out like that, they're going to make USC almost have to be perfect on offense, and they're good enough that they can be. But I just think people are very down Notre Dame. They kind of got smoked at the end of the game by Louisville last week. I think people think they're kind of on tired legs. Marcus Freeman is starting to worry me as a coach. I don't know how good of a coach he is, but I just think they're too physical for USC.
Your over-under is 59.5. Notre Dame total points, the line is 30.5. USC total points, the line is 28.5.
See, in my head, I think Notre Dame puts up 40.
Really?
Yeah, I think Notre Dame puts up like 38 to 40, and then like USC like puts up 30. Like that's in my opinion.
I mean, it wouldn't like this game is like it's a high variance game. Like it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I'm not saying
because USC's defense is so like the thing is Notre Dame doesn't want to get in a shootout with USC.
No.
But at the same time, USC's defense is bad enough that it wouldn't shock me if Notre Dame scored like a bunch of points. If they scored 30 plus, it wouldn't shock me.
They could do whatever they want against USC, in my opinion.
Because they were missing some receivers that they got back that I think is going to help them quite a bit. Like Sam Hartman's, I think they're going to be able to run the ball. I think that's going to open up the pass. Like Sam Hartman's going to be able to throw the ball quite a bit. I like Notre Dame, but I don't fault anyone that take a shot at USC because this game just worries me. Where I could see a scenario where you look up in the fourth quarter and USC's like they've got a turnover too. All of a sudden, they're up in the fourth quarter. That wouldn't shock me, but I'm kind of a little bit of a plug your nose and take a Notre Dame play.
I like Notre Dame as well. I think because they've been they lost last week, and I love that. And two things. One, Brad also had a good point where it's like getting the plus sign on Caleb Williams is also not a huge, like, usually that's kind of a nice little thing you could have. I can see that, but I'm on Notre Dame. Has Notre Dame have the hardest schedule of all time?
But it was funny because when you think about it, when they scheduled these games years ago, you did not think that Duke and Louisville back-to-back were going to be these, like, tough games.
And then also,
all of a sudden, Duke becomes a very good football team. Louisville's having a great year.
You have so far you have those two, Ohio State and
sandwich
USC,
between Ohio State and Notre Dame.
That's a tough stretch right there.
Fucking brutal. Granted, both of them at home, though. They got Ohio State and USC at home.
And Dukes, you're very high on Notre Dame, it sounds like, in this game?
In the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like some stinkers this week.
Okay.
I like some stinkers.
There's a ton of all the good games. Like I wrote down just all the top games from the week. Every single spread is between like 2 and 3.5 points. All of them. All the good games. So the next one I had written down is A&M going.
Can I make one last point, sorry?
Go ahead.
My one thing with Notre Dame, I just remembered. Notre Dame knows how to play a 4-quarter game. I'm not so sure that USC is prepared to play a 4-quarter game.
They also let's also put in mind like they got taken to double or triple overtime with Arizona last week as 21.5 point favorites. So USC, you can score on USC. Like pretty much everyone scored on USC besides like the shit. Like I think like Stanford got blown out by them early in the year. They actually played tonight. But we got A&M at Tennessee. Tennessee's -3. Total is 55. I kind of like A&M in the bounce back +3. Tennessee, as much as A&M's, I think A&M their best thing that they do is defend the run. And Milton obviously can throw the ball. I just don't trust this Tennessee team. I don't think they're nearly as good as they were last year. They don't have the receivers they did last year. Like they had Tillman, they had Jalen Hyatt. Like they don't have guys like that this year. I think A&M another where my story of my week, my bets is here, just going with the more physical team in the line of scrimmage, which I think A&M is. I think it's a close game. I'll take the points. Any like hard thoughts from anybody? No. It's a tough game for sure.
I think I'm just I love the bounce back, and A&M against Bama impressed me actually. I think that they were actually pretty good. I don't buy Tennessee at all. I really don't. I think that they're not that good. I mean, Florida obviously showed that, but they haven't really played anybody either, and they lost one of them, Virginia, Austin Peay, Florida, UTSA, and South Carolina, we know all those aren't very good. So Texas A&M has also played like Miami already. They obviously lost both of them, but I like Texas A&M as well.
You guys have a feel on the total?
If I, not really. If I had to, maybe the over, but
Okay, because I was going to think under. Because I feel like Florida's defense kind of gave Tennessee's offense, like, not fits, but the A&M defense is way better than Florida's. So
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking kind of under here.
It's just tough with Tennessee. They're one of those teams that are so much better at home, and Florida's like that too. Like they went to the Swamp and got their ass
Right.
beat. This game's in Tennessee. Yeah, I'm not gonna play the total, but yeah, I like A&M. I think they can if they can stop the run and make it tough on. My biggest fear is that they're not great in the pass, and if Millen has one of those games, like they can get lit up, but Millen's is so inconsistent. Next game I had written down, Kansas at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is +3. The total is 56. This is where they're both coming off big performances.
Yep.
Kansas with their backup just smoked UCF, smoked them. But then Oklahoma State, I believe it was Thursday or Friday night, was like an 11, 12-point dog to Kansas State at home and just beat them up pretty good. So they're both coming off big wins. I'm taking the 3 at home. It's weird because I love Kansas as a team. I love Leipold. I think he's a great coach. I don't think we know for sure if Jalen Daniels or Bean's going to start for Kansas yet. But I think Oklahoma State kind of found something last week. They look good at home. Defense played a little better. And Kansas State's a pretty good offense. And they were able to score quite a bit when they have a tough defense as well. I'm taking the 3 at home.
I'm going to if Daniels plays, I'm going with Kansas. I think he takes care of the ball a lot. He doesn't turn it over much. They run the ball a ton, and that running back is, I think, really good.
Neal's a beast.
Kansas impressed the shit out of me last week, where I was watching that game and I was like, Oklahoma State, they had a big win against Kansas State, but I think they just got Kansas State on a good night, in my opinion. I think that because Kansas State started to come back in that game.
Yeah, at the end,
Oklahoma State was going a little bit, but this is also kind of. I agree. I hate when they both come off big wins.
Yeah, because they're both well. Like I talk about Leipold. Like Gundy's a great coach too.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm with you, Ev. I'm taking Oklahoma State at home, especially because I think Gundy's going to remind the country why he's a good coach, why he's a great coach. 2 stinkers this year that they've lost, and I think they're like talking about backs against the wall. I think that he's going to show them why they're Oklahoma State. I think they're going to probably fight for the rest of the year. Especially who they lose to, South Alabama and
early they did. Yeah, they kind of got smoked by them too. Yeah,
Iowa State.
Yeah.
So I think that Gundy's gonna show how this team improves throughout the year. I like Oklahoma State at home.
So the next one I'd written down, we talked about Florida a little bit already. Florida at South Carolina. South Carolina is -2.5. The total is 50.
Love
who?
South Carolina.
Yeah, I do too.
Love them.
This Florida team, the reason they're Jekyll and Hyde is because they can only play in the Swamp.
Yeah.
You see, like when they leave the Swamp, they get their ass kicked. When they play in the Swamp, they play well. I think we might get a nice little. I think we might get a little Spencer Rattler game here.
Yep. Exactly.
Little. All of a sudden, ooh, that Rattler guy maybe he falls into the first round, second round. The talent's there. The one thing I was about SC too, they got some good playmakers on offense. The dude Xavier Legette, he's gonna be like a first round receiver. They got some real guys on offense.
Yep.
I like South Carolina in this spot. I'm just not a believer in Florida, not a believer in Graham Mertz. Like I said, unless they're playing in the Swamp, and they are not. Might even lean towards the over, but not like super confident. I really just like South Carolina. Little Rattler week for the people. Any thoughts, Dukes?
No thoughts from me.
I love South Carolina. I love them this
Oklahoma
week.
State was one of my stinkers for the people that are wondering what the stinkers. Oklahoma State was a stinker that I felt strongly about.
I was saying Clemmer. I know Clemmer and Smith. I think you guys are in college. We go through the last few games. So we'll get into the NFL. We got Miami at North Carolina. Kind of a very interesting game. We talked about Brad yesterday.
Oh.
That line's now down to 3. It was 3.5. It is now UNC -3. The total is 56.5. Yesterday I was kind of leaning towards Miami. Now I'm starting to lean more towards UNC, and really the reason is UNC. They were a team I did not believe in a ton coming in this year. I thought they lost a lot. They just had Drake May. They haven't played anybody great, but they've been doing what they need. They've been super impressive. They even have kind of look-ahead spot last week with the big game against Miami, not knowing they were going to lose to Georgia Tech. They played Syracuse. They beat them by 33, smoke them in a spot where I thought was a clear look-ahead.
I thought that was a Syracuse spot, 100%.
I thought it was too, and UNC looked great. I mean, Drake May's been great. They've been great. The defense has been good. I think I'm going to take you. There's going to be definitely like a square play. I'm taking UNC. I just think Miami. I think it's hard to get off the mat after something like that. I thought Brad made a good point about it's even as a kid, like as a college kid, it's got to be hard to trust like what you're trying to build with Cristobal and just at Miami after such a disgusting mistake. Like, how do you I like what he said. Like, how do you almost like buy into that after?
So
it's got to be tough to just get off the mat after losing a game that was just so not only so winnable, you literally had the game won. You had it won and you threw it away for just pure stupidity. I'm taking North Carolina. I think they're just the better team, more complete team. I trust Mac Brown way more. They're at home. Give me the Tar Heels.
I'm confused about this one because I was all over Miami. I was like, they're going to come back. Like, I still think that Miami's good, but it's hard to tell with college kids like that. And like I said yesterday, I think Miami is going to either win this game or absolutely get smoked. I don't think there's any in between after that. But yeah, it's all about how the kids come back from one of the worst coaching decisions of maybe all time.
Probably one of them history of sports.
It really is one of the worst things I've ever seen in a sport.
I don't know if I could love Miami more.
I know that's why I'm
blame
leaning.
you. I don't
leaning
blame you
towards
for
Miami.
feeling that.
I'm not making it my lock, by the way, only because of what you said, Ev. The locker room, there is the potential for, okay, how do you get up for Cristobal after this? But
Yeah.
I believe in Cristobal as a motivator, being like, hey, we only are a one-loss ACC team, and maybe the best the ACC has been in a long, long time. So we do our job today. We do our job for the rest of the year. We go into the playoff with one loss. Why shouldn't the committee look at us and be like, hey, we fucked up on one play, get us into the playoff? So that's what I'm buying myself in on. But there's also the other side with the players like, fuck this guy, he ruined our season.
Yeah.
You know, no, totally fair. Trust me, there was a lot of me that really wanted to take Miami, but I just think the UNC teams is really good. But I don't feel like taking Miami at all.
It seems like there's a lot of close games among good teams. More than normal in this slate. But I heard Brad talk yesterday, and I just kind of get the vibe of the room. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of excitement for this week in college football as much as there was, say, 2 weeks ago. If that makes sense?
The slate's not near. Like, there's a lot of like good games, but that was an elite week where there was like 6 or 7 like top 25 where both teams were ranked.
Yeah.
And that week wasn't even that good.
Yeah, it didn't end up.
Oh, right, it didn't. Right.
Like this week, these are all good games.
I feel like this week
Only or Oregon Washington to me may be like the best game of the season so far that I've been most excited for.
Yeah.
But only that one, USC, Notre Dame, Miami, UNC are the only 3 that they're both ranked. Or no, UCLA, Oregon State. We'll go into that one next. UCLA at Oregon State. Oregon State's minus 3.5. Total's 54. They're both coming off like good performance. UCLA is weird. We talk about what Brad said. Dante Moore's a freshman, talented kid. I mean, they should have beat the shit out of Washington State. They covered still. But, I mean, he threw like 2 pick sixes, like really bad ones. I trust Oregon State here way more. Obviously, I've been a big Beavers guy all year. I bet them to win the Pac-12. This is a game they absolutely have to have. They want any chance to do that. They already lost to Wazoo. I like Oregon State. I mean, DJ's started to look really good. That run game, I think, looks really good. The defense is solid. I just trust them more than I trust Dante more than I trust UCLA. So I'm going with Oregon State. And I like the over as well. I think there's points scored on both sides here. Oregon State and the over 54.
I love Oregon State at home. I love them. I think I'm definitely going with them.
The offensive line, the run game. Smitty, we need this one for the win total.
We need it.
If we get this one, we're in good spot.
Hey,
if we get this one, it's a good spot.
8.5. Eat it up.
Let's go. And the last one before we get in the NFL. NC State at Duke. Duke is minus 3. The total is 44. It's looking like Riley Leonard, Duke's star quarterback, is probably not going to play.
Really?
That's what it sounds like. For full disclosure, I took Duke yesterday at minus 3. Basically, I like them even if Leonard doesn't play. And then if Leonard does play, you're getting a really good price. But I think we talked about with Brad yesterday, and I agree with him. I think it's the Duke minus 3 is already factored in. Like they're lining this like Riley Leonard's not going to play. So I'm kind of going with that mindset, but I still think they're better. And we talk about NC State, their defense still isn't very good. They almost lost to Marshall. They put in the new quarterback, who I think was definitely better than Brendan Armstrong. Armstrong's bad. They were just bad with him. But I just like Duke here at home. Still, I still think they're very physical. Like their defense is still very underrated. I think people just don't give them that credit because they're Duke. I mean, they should have beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a physical team. They went out there and played a tough physical game with Notre Dame. Should have beat them. Gave up a last minute drive to lose. I like Duke. with or without Riley Leonard. With Leonard, I love him, but without him, I still like him.
Yeah, I think that's actually smart because I think that a lot of people are going to wait to see what Leonard's happening, and then the line's just going to.
The line's going to just not really change.
Maybe go to 2.
Yeah.
If anything like that. I like
at
that.
worst. That's kind of how I'm feeling.
Some quick NFL news: Daniel Jones is out for this week.
Oh man.
Goodness.
We'll get to that game. That's a Sunday night game. So that
Real quick for college, where the sharp money is. It started at 60. It's under 59.5 tonight for Stanford, Colorado. The sharps and the money is on them both. And then for tomorrow, Michigan State plus 4.5. Also, Ohio State and Purdue under 52. That's where the sharps and the money is going.
Obviously, real quick before we get in the NFL too, we'll get into just the games. There's 3 decent games tonight. We got Tulane at Memphis. I actually like Memphis catching the points at home. I think they're dangerous here. They got a good pass game.
Dude, sorry. That West Virginia-Houston game was crazy.
On
that, Ev. Speak on that.
We'll talk about that real quick because that was so. I didn't get too crazy because I don't. You can't call it a bad beat.
No.
When West Virginia scores a 50-yard touchdown on 4th down with 30 seconds left in the game that they were I think they were never covering until that point. They were on the put. They were on -3. They were pushing quite a few times, but I mean. The quarterback, and this is where these guys, they need to learn, there's time left on the clock. They score this big touchdown. They get a 15-yard penalty for the helmet thing, and then that gives Houston the extra yards they needed to throw the Hail Mary, and they score and win at the buzzer.
Yeah.
Devastating loss for West Virginia.
As a gambler, you can't complain about that.
No, it was not a bad. It was devastating, but not a bad beat.
You can
Big
complain.
Cat said it. Big Cat said it. Nobody deserved to cover that game.
No,
Yeah.
honestly, that's
But you know what? I
it's
hate when
honestly
people say
true.
you can't complain because that's literally why I gamble is to complain when I lose. So I get, but you can't say it's. I hate when people say it's a bad beat. You can complain, but it's not a bad beat.
Because they were covering for literally 20 seconds.
Because you're still at home
entire
being
game.
like, "Fuck this! I don't deserve this."
Well, it was the moment of you should. My mentions were so funny because I bet West Virginia, so it was all these people being like, "Oh my God, they won, best gambling win ever," and then 2 minutes later, just being like, ... never mind, fuck this
Dish
team.
is nothing.
Yeah, dish is nothing. Fuck this team.
Going off that type of loss last night, I was actually thinking about this during the Oregon-Washington analysis, is because of the Texas Tech-Oregon game in the beginning of the year, Oregon fucked me, and they barely covered against Texas Tech. In my head, I'm like, Oregon didn't deserve to cover that game. They aren't a good football team. Therefore, Washington is winning this football game and covering. That's my brain.
Oh yeah.
I was on Texas Tech that game.
Yeah.
That was
So
the worst beat ever.
Some beats stick with me where I'm like, oh, Oregon's fake now. They're frauds. That I don't know. It makes no sense, but I think it does make sense.
This is the most I've liked a team in a long time in college football, and I love Oregon so much. I love watching them play.
Do you guys have a best bet for the weekend?
Yeah, I don't know if anyone knows this, but FAU USF over.
The line already went up 2
Yeah,
points.
I'm on him, Artie.
Line already went
that
up
what
2
Brad took?
points. Yeah, that was his best bet.
My best bet, or I have 3 best bets, but one of them is USF -2.5.
Okay.
I actually don't even know if I don't have a best bet locked in. I'll give some of the plays I've already locked in. I took Indiana plus 33. They're playing Michigan. I just think it's a ton of points. They have really been covering. They've covered, I guess, the last week or two, but not a ton of spreads. I think Georgia Southern plus 6. They're on the road at James Madison. I'm taking Illinois plus 14. They're playing at Maryland. I just don't think Maryland's that good. I'll take the 14. And this is the all-time letdown spot after the huge win. Give me Pitt plus 8 at home or playing against Louisville. Louisville coming off their biggest win in their football program in years, beating Notre Dame. They're undefeated, 6-0. They're ranked 10th now. They're ranked really high now, in the top 20 for sure. Pitt's not great. I think they play competitive at home. I like them plus 8. And I took Georgia State money line against Marshall. Marshall's been kind of the cream of the crop in that conference. I think Georgia State's pretty good too.
Amazing.
They catch them at home and a pick 'em. I love Georgia State there.
Georgia State's my favorite team in the country right now.
They're good. They're very good. I like Georgia State there. And that was what I have so far. Besides everything I just said earlier with these big games, I did everything I said I played. I have played. I played all those as well. And
Also-
I'll definitely be adding some more.
I'm going under in Ohio State, Purdue, Notre Dame -2.5, Oklahoma State plus 3, USF -2.5, and I teased all you guys. Miami is my mortal lock.
I like it. I don't fault you. I guess we'll go over. So tonight, and just tonight, said I like Memphis. I took Utah State, even though I love Fresno. They've been my team for a few years. Mikey Keene, their quarterback, is out. They have this new kid in Fife who they put in last week. Didn't look very good against Wyoming. He started a few games last year when my darling Jake Haener got hurt. Didn't look great either. Utah State's been playing much better. They're at home. They're catching 4.5, so I'm taking the Aggies there. And then I think Colorado wins tonight. I'm taking Stanford in the points. They're getting like 11.5, 12. I think I've locked in 11.5. Their defense isn't great, which I think Stanford's going to score, which is also why I like the over 59.5 in the game. Stanford's coming off the bye week. They're coming off probably their best performance of the year, where they lost a close game to Arizona, where they played really well. They have this new quarterback in, who I think is playing a lot better. With the bye week, I think should have a good game plan. It's at Colorado. Colorado just doesn't play quite enough defense. I think Stanford keep it close. So I like Stanford and the over tonight in that game. Those are my 4 plays tonight in college football.
I haven't looked at. I'm not sure what I'm taking yet today for college football.
I'm with you on Memphis.
Yeah, like even though the line went down to like 3.5, now it's up to like 5.
I know that scared me.
I have 4.5 there, so that's fine.
I agree with you on everything they said. Memphis's pass offense is really good. They also will fucking go down 21-0 faster than you can blink.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, last week they did that last week.
What game was it?
They were my lock. Or no, 2 weeks ago.
Yes, yes. I was
they were my lock. They were down like 20 or 17-0, and then they're down 17-0. They came all the way back, get it 21-0. Then they blocked a field goal, ran it back for a touchdown, and then they were playing Boise. Right. Boise came down, scored 2-point conversion to push it. So that was tough, but is what it is. We'll get into NFL now.
Some more NFL news too. Deshaun Watson also out.
Yeah, those are the second game I had written down. First game. Like I said, we have no hard out, so we're not just getting out of here in a couple minutes. We'll go over a bunch of NFL stuff. Ravens -4. Not technically at Titans. The game's in London. We had a London game. Ravens -4 at Titans. The total is 42. I like the Ravens here.
Love the Ravens.
I think a bounce back for the Ravens. I think
it's kind of like the Ravens have to start showing up.
Yeah.
Now. Like, if they want to be there, if they want to compete towards the playoffs, they have to fucking start showing up and being.
I have a thing what they should do. I think there's a guy that they should go and get, and they should trade for him. You want to guess who it is?
No.
Jerry Jeudy.
Okay.
They should trade for Jerry.
Actually, well, I'm glad we didn't get to talk about this, so I guess we'll address this now. You had to see the Steve Smith video, no?
Yeah, I did.
You still want him after the Steve Smith video?
Yeah.
Tier 3?
Yep.
A guy that can't take criticism, a guy that that when NFL teams call him and say, should they trade for him, he says no.
I think
this guy stinks.
I think he has a lot of rights to be very upset as a Bronco. I think that also we didn't really talk about how Sean Payton is like the most overrated coach of all time.
I've said the last few weeks. I'm
saying it again today. Like, Nathaniel Hackett is no one's looked better than Nathaniel Hackett this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Nathaniel Hackett beat the 49ers last year. They were 2-3 at this point. Like we were like, oh, maybe they could, and then it was tough. But like Sean Payton hasn't even been fucking close. They look awful. But I think that sometimes those guys were Jerry Jeudy. I mean, it was bad. All that stuff was bad. But like the Ravens need a wide receiver. They don't have one. Zay Flowers is a very good wide receiver. He's a rookie though, and they have nobody else. Odell is just not Odell anymore. He's not. He's good.
He's hurt. He's
hurt. Like it's not like he's just kind of.
They do. I mean, they do have. I hear what you're saying. Like they definitely could use a wide receiver. They do have Mark Andrews though too, which is kind of like he's their best.
He hasn't been like amazing this season either though.
Well, I think they've just been they've kind of had weird games.
Lamar's playing great too. If you look at his
he hasn't played bad.
He's been playing good.
Even we talked about it when we were recapping like the Steelers game. I mean, they dropped so many balls, multiple in the end zone. Like the one that Bateman literally was like
that was bad.
You couldn't have put it in his hands better. He just dropped it. I mean,
don't discount Nelson Aguilar.
I like the under in this game more than the game itself. Like the matchup.
The Lunders have been. I don't.
That's what I mean. And I also I feel like the Titans. They're going to not be very good on offense. The Ravens. I never know what they're going to do from game to game. I don't know. The whole idea of this being in London really scares me. If I was going to put a play in anything, it would be the under.
Is this the most London games there's ever been?
I think so.
Feels that way.
I feel like it's usually
never ends.
2. And
there's more.
There's the Dolphins
more.
playing there too.
Are they doing like a Germany game again this year too?
Oh my God, yeah. It's the fucking Patriots. That's the biggest undergame of all time.
They're in Mexico City.
Where is that game taking place?
I think it's in Munich, and they're playing the Colts when Richardson comes back.
Oh,
It's under.
What's your guys' thoughts of London games?
I love it because at 9:30 football.
Waking
awesome.
up and then football is, and it's like
and the game ends like because you're used to
20
sitting there
minutes
all
left.
morning like waiting for 1 o'clock, or if you're not on the East Coast, God bless you, because I went earlier the better. But when you get to like that, especially when the game gets extended, like last week, I feel like the game kind of took long because the fourth quarter took so long. They both were scoring, and then like Smitty said, the game ended. You have like 20 minutes.
I do
And then
think
1
it's
o'clock starts.
yeah, I like it. It's extra football, right?
I love
fans. I think it's great. I think it's really bad for the players. I
grow up.
I think
Besides the Jaguars,
But the quality of play isn't there yet either. Though. I don't think.
What's his name?
Did you see the turf?
Miller went. What's his name? Fucking who am I talking about?
Miller.
Poyer was it maybe? No,
Who's
it was somebody on the
Von
Bills.
Miller. Von Miller.
Somebody on the Bills was saying it.
Von Miller said the turf was one of the worst turfs he's ever
Did you guys
played
see it?
on.
Do you want me to pull it up?
No. Oh yeah, I want you to pull up. I didn't see it.
right.
Not to that. But I think that's. I think for the players, it kind of does. It's cool going to London, or whatever. But like, I think losing a home game to it kind of does suck for them.
Sure.
I think that's a big disadvantage for them. But for fans, give me a London game every day.
I forget who it was in the Bills secondary. It might have been Poyer. I could be wrong. But somebody made this comment about how like it doesn't matter where we play, like London, this, that, wherever. And after the game, he was like, I wouldn't mind if I never played a game overseas ever again. Wouldn't mind at all if we played every game for the rest of my life on U.S. soil.
Von Miller was very vocal about like the turf was like actually.
That was his first game back too.
Yeah.
A while.
What do you think the NFL is like? Why every player complains about the turf? Every player about every turf. Like, why don't they just change it?
Because they don't care about players. They care about us. They care about us watching.
I also think it's stadium to stadium. Like you're so used to playing on one turf or grass, and you have your cleats, and you don't know what it is, and then you go to another one, it's just completely different.
So Marty, they were saying, and I can't pull up the video, I can't find it quick enough, but they were saying that it was basically just like metal on the bottom.
Oh,
they do
not
some
metal,
of them.
but like
hard.
It's
basically
basketball court.
A lot of them literally be like concrete.
Right,
essentially.
concrete.
If you watch the old artificial turf, like in the 70s and stuff, in the 80s, that was just a layer of turf
hard,
over
bro.
concrete.
Yeah, and that shit hurt. When
Oh
you
yeah,
fall
it fucks up knees. Like Andre Dawson, the Expos outfielder, his knees were fucked up from it. Like it ruins legs. As you get tackled with concrete.
There's one clip at Veterans Stadium. I forget who it is. It's opposing wide receiver. Went up for a catch, came down, both ACLs at once.
Yeah, that's
my God.
You know what?
I never see anything like it.
I kind of miss the Oakland Raiders playing on the baseball field.
Yeah, it was endearing.
I kind of liked when they got like tackled at shortstop, and it was like that's gotta hurt.
See in Miami too. Remember before Marlins Park, you have a lot of.
Yeah, I always like, oh, that's so stupid. Like get a football field, but I was like, oh, it's kind of fun.
All right, next game. This one should be quick. We got Niners -10 at the Browns. Like Clemmer just said before, Deshaun Watson officially out.
And it's
What is
not.
this problem?
It's not.
There's something weird going on where like he's been cleared.
Yeah.
He was cleared like
And he
last
just-
week. I saw, and he just isn't practicing. I don't know. So I don't know what's really going on.
After he said, I'm coming back and playing last week.
Yeah, this is all there. Maybe it's honestly maybe guaranteed money. He's like, Nick Bosa, I'm good.
Yeah. And it's
Eric Armstead, I'm good.
PJ Walker starting.
Warner,
as well.
I'm good.
The under in this game is very low. 36.
36.5 is a total.
You think that's crazy?
35 and a half now.
Wow.
PJ Walker playing instead of.
Here's the thing, though.
DTR was bad.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
And I'm not a DTR fan. He was great in college. He was good in preseason.
PJ Walker with the Panthers, bit of a gamer.
Yeah.
Gives him a little bit
He was who threw that ball to DJ Moore that I think might be one of the best throws in NFL history.
Of all time.
I'm dead serious about that.
I have such
That one single throw was one of the best throws I've ever seen.
When there's a backup quarterback that plays well like PJ Walker does, he's set for life. And all of our heads, we're like, he's pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
And if you're Nathan Peterman, you have like one bad game, and you're like, keeps getting signed to these. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Oh,
with
100%.
backup quarterbacks, you really have one
Dude,
chance.
Matt Flynn is.
Dude,
the
you hear what I
biggest
just said? I'm
one.
going to be on my stupid 50 years of my life, then I'm going to be like, that PJ Walker,
that PJ
man.
exactly.
That one throw against Atlanta in 2022.
If he just
Best
got
throw I've ever seen.
He just got a chance, man.
one deep ball, put it on the bucket.
So I do have a play on this game. So the Niners, and this is I bring up the over/under. The Niners have scored 30 or more points every single game they've played this year. The line for this game is 23.5. So I'm taking the over. It's I think that's
the total over. The team total.
Team total over is 23.5, and they've scored 30 or more every game.
Browns defense is good, but the Browns defense might be on the field a lot more this game.
This is where they need the Browns defense to go play like the game of their lives, to have any prayer, which I don't know if they do, but the defense is very good. So that gives me, this is one of those weird games I could see being like 24-7. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like just because this is a game where like Myles Garrett and the Browns are looking at each other like we have to play our A game or we have no chance.
It's like a Jets game. Basically.
No chance. Yeah, kind of.
Deshaun Watson shit's so annoying because I was excited to see if like what Deshaun Watson we have now, and it's just like he's just gonna always be.
He's just kind of like like solid, I guess, from what I've seen this year. He's like
he's just whatever.
Okay.
I actually
had some good games, some bad games.
It's tough not to feel bad for Browns fans. Your guy, Marty Ohio Tate, just wrote a blog about it. It's like, what's going on here? Like, we didn't want to sign him, first of all, and now you're going to just...
Yeah, that's also...
Be an asshole.
Want to sign him?
Oh, they kind of wanted.
They were pretty celebratory when they signed him.
Okay. Sign him for that.
It was a bidding
money?
war. The Falcons wanted him bad. The Falcons, he chose the Browns because he thought the Browns would win more. Which I'd argue they have a better roster. I would definitely.
The Browns have had one good quarterback in the past 20 years.
Jake Dillon.
Sad he went to Tampa.
Sad.
Well, honestly, I actually like that game. We'll get to that game soon. I'll go to the next one. We got Panthers plus 13.5 in Miami. The total is 49.5, I believe.
47.5.
47. I read it wrong. 47.5. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. My 9 and 7 was. I guessed. I didn't know which one. I wrote down it would look kind of like a 9 to 7 tweener.
It's good.
47.5.
Wait, how does a 7 and a 9 get mixed?
When I kind of when I did the 9, I didn't fully did kind of one of those. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I got it.
But yeah, Panthers catch a 13.5. I don't know.
Bro,
Panthers are so bad.
You have to take the Dolphins here. I don't even care about gambling. Sharp Panthers. Like the Panthers are god awful.
If I want 14, and I'll probably take the Panthers.
I can't
help myself.
13 is.
I can't help myself.
There's one way around this, guys. Just jump on the monster money line parlay.
God.
You can still do it. Now, I have the Chiefs. They already won, obviously. But you have the Niners, the Dolphins, and Bills. You can still play those three and join me in the monster money line parlay. Everyone's talking about it.
See, that's why I have to take the Panthers plus catching 2 touchdowns. Not on the money line for sure, but
I would love for you to explain
touchdowns.
to Dave why you're taking the monster money line parlay.
Why I'm taking it? Because I want to win money.
You should be like, I'm printing money with the monster money line.
I'm not saying that. No, I'm
printing money.
I will. I have to. You cannot ignore the
code
stats.
to gambling.
Just
parlay all the favorites.
Hey Dave, could you come on Pick Central? Clemmer figured out gambling.
No, I never.
Crack the code.
If anything, the monster money line parlay has not been. It's only 1 and 2.
I know.
So I'm not gonna sell the.
It's 1 and 2.
By records, it's been good. By records, by each leg, it's
you can't
been
do
good.
that. You can't do that. It's 1 and 2 right now, but we're gonna bounce back. And
If he did a reverse tank.
Yeah, Clemmer
lost all his parlays. He's like, yeah, but I went 7 and 3 in those bets.
Yeah, Clemmer's
I'm not doing that at all. No.
You're 9 and 2.
Looper was doing the chop.
No, monster money line parlay 1 and 2. I am 14 and 7 since October in football though.
It's still hilarious that the Frank the Tank would put in a 7-leg parlay. And go win 5 of them, and he would count it as 0 and 7.
Yeah,
he would just be 0 and 7. Next minute.
Sounds about right.
So funny.
And Scott Van Pelt, he made $1 million on Sunday, didn't lose a bet.
he's never lost a bet. We have next game. I actually really like this game. We got Seahawks at Bengals. Bengals -3. The total is 45. I love the Cincinnati Bengals. Love the Bengals. I think they get back to 3-3. I think everyone gets off their case. I think Burrow looked a lot healthier last week. Granted, it was the Cardinals, but still a good performance. They beat them by 2 touchdowns, I think.
I'm afraid to pull the trigger on this, but you're starting to. So, I'll ride with you, Bengals.
I think they're finally. This is what they've done the last few years.
Yeah,
they're a very good team. He was hurt. He didn't play any preseason. I think they kind of got through that injured preseason period, nicked up. I think he looks healthy. He looks better. They got things figured out. I think they win here.
Are we scared of the Seahawks at all?
Well, Seahawks are a good team. The Seahawks are a good team.
Yeah, Seahawks are a good team. If the line's down to 4.5 now, -150 money line. The Seahawks went in the Lions and beat them in the shootout.
Wait.
It's
2.5.
I'm seeing
2.5
3.
now.
2.5?
All right, so it's
Okay.
2.5, 3.
I'm looking at the
regardless.
Barstool Sportsbook right now.
Okay.
I'll refresh it. But the over, I think the over is the play. I mean, the Lions have a pretty decent defense. Seahawks bashed them up. I think it's another kind of shootout game.
Yeah, I don't hate the over 45 there. But yeah, I really like the Bengals. I just think they get back on track. I think everyone saw the Seattle beat the shit out of the Giants on primetime, which everyone's beat the shit out of us on primetime. The Giants just fucking suck.
Seahawks are 3-1 right now.
So, the Seahawks are a solid team. Off a bye, solid team. I'd actually like to see those numbers because a guy like Pete Carroll that I think very highly of as a coach. I'd imagine he's probably decent off a bye, but
Did you guys see like the DK Metcalf said one of their corners is going to be shut down or something? Jamar Chase retweeted it and stuff. I love that stuff.
oh yeah, no, feed me that.
Yes.
That makes I don't know why it makes no sense. It makes like the over even more. Yeah, I like the Bengals in the over there. Next game we got Colts at Jags. Gardner Minshew is starting for the Colts.
I love it.
The line is Jags -4, and the total is 44. Smitty, go ahead. What do you got?
Yeah, it's a dangerous play, but Jaguars coming off of 2 straight London games. They won both of them, feeling a little bit high, coming back to essentially an away game at home. I mean, nobody likes Jacksonville. Colts coming back to Jacksonville with Gardner Minshew returning to the place that kind of shoved them away.
Yep.
+4. I'm not saying they win it, but +4. I'm feeling a field goal game right here, boys.
I'm so with you, Smitty. I like the Colts. Coming home from London after being there for 2 weeks is a big thing. People aren't really talking about it. I totally forgot they were coming back, so I felt like they're just out there all the time.
So I'm just Smitty. I don't know if I think you have this in front of you a little bit. I felt the same way as you guys. My knee jerk, like when I saw the spread, I was like, oh, Colts. I think I read something. The Colts are getting like a ton of public money on this.
I'll check
Give that a check for me because I was seeing that. It made me almost. It kind of did, Smitty, what you did to me with the Bills last week. The Bills Jags, where I took a step back and was like, you know what? Let me give this another a second thought. Let me refresh my brain, cleanse it, and think about it again.
Yeah, the Colts are getting tons of public money. They're getting tons of
just money
line money. However, the sharp action is on Jacksonville.
That's what I kind of once I saw there was that much public money on the Colts, I kind of figured that.
92%
It's giving me some
of the money
pause.
on 92% of the money on 74% of the bets. Public money.
So I guess the big money is on Indianapolis too. It's something.
Yeah.
But it made me want to take the Jags because it made me realize that me knee jerk reacting thinking Colts, then seeing that pretty much everyone's thinking the same way.
The line
That might be a
also
Jags
went
play
down.
for me.
The line also went down from 6.5.
Yeah, that might end up being a. All right, Pete Carroll's 4-6 off a bye
Against the spread.
against the spread. All right.
So if
Love
you
the
want anyone
Bengals.
other coaches, I found a good website, I think.
I wonder what
that's a good stat. I like that.
What's the asterisk mean on Joe Judge 0-1?
I gotta find out. I'll be right back.
Asterisk's crazy.
Something with,
Give me
probably,
a second. I gotta find out.
probably just something with the spread, maybe a push or something.
And it was also there was one asterisk is nuts.
I like the.
Sean Payton, too.
I think I'm leaning towards the Jags. I think just because everyone's on the Colts, I think I might play the Jags. Next game we got Vikings -3 on the road at the Chicago Bears. The total is 44. This over almost feels too easy that it's scary, but I'm still going to take it.
I'm
still going to take it, even though I bet everyone, their mother's going to be on it. This is one where I don't care. I just don't think the Bears defense is very good. I still think the Vikings should be able to, even Justin Jefferson's out, I still think they should be able to score.
For sure.
I also like the Bears catching 3, even though I think that's going to be a public take as well.
Oh no!
Obviously, the Bears.
I was all proud of myself for taking the Bears here.
It's very public.
You guys,
Bears here.
They just, I just,
am a square on football. It's fine. I'm embracing it now.
You were waiting for this game to come
I was
up,
so
too.
proud of
You're
myself.
like,
I'm like, oh, show those guys.
they're coming off this phenomenal performance on prime time. Fields looks incredible. They're
Jefferson's
at home.
out.
Yeah, Jefferson's out for 4
damn it.
weeks. I'd imagine.
Edgy Clemmer.
But I'm still probably gonna take the Bears. I'm undecided.
You know what we need to do?
Don't hold me at
Ev?
gunpoint on Friday yet, but I like the Bears.
On Fridays, I want Clemmer to actually give his picks and see if it's square or not. No, without us going through it first. You just give us your picks of what you think this week, and like we'll see if it's how square it is or not. And don't like try, do what you like.
Every bet I put out there, I make myself, so I'm not going to throw money away. So.
No. I'm saying this like next week. I want to do on Friday.
Clemmer hasn't gotten to like the fade himself part of gambling yet.
Because it's also the favorites have been good.
That's the most fun stage of gambling.
Don't forget about me being 14-7
That
this
is
month.
not the funnest part of gambling. That's
funnest part of money. Gambling is when you win money.
Oh, I'm in hell when I'm fading myself.
When you begin gambling.
When you're just questioning every thought you
Yes,
have.
yes. I think that puts you.
I've been there a million times.
I know.
I've had like weeks where
you've been gambling since the 80s, but
well, not quite that long, but close.
No, but seriously, when you have to start fading yourself, that sends a man to therapy because you don't even know what's real and what's not.
You don't know which way's up.
I mean, that's how I got with MLB playoffs. Like I stopped doing anything for a couple. I need a couple days off. I suck right now.
When you fade yourself, and then you would have won if you didn't fade yourself.
Yeah, that's why I
don't know left from right.
Yeah.
I just take a break.
Next game, I actually really like this game. We have, did I write this down right? Commanders plus 2.5 at Atlanta.
That's correct.
This is tough because Desmond Ridder has been so good at home.
No, not so good at.
He's literally never
31-0.
Never lost at home.
That's why I grabbed the Falcons.
Part of me wants to take the Commanders so badly because on the opposite of the Bears, they have this atrocious performance on primetime.
Right.
They get blown out by what a lot of people consider the worst team in football, get smoked by 20. Now they come back to it, and it's weird because that was coming off a game where they almost beat what somebody considered the best team, the Eagles, on the road. I kind of want to take a shot at the Commanders plus 2.5 here. I think that's where I'm at. I think they need to bounce back bad. Atlanta's been like good, but not great. Other than just at home, they've just been winning games. But even last week they won, they didn't cover. I took the Texans plus 2.5. They covered. Maybe Commanders can do the same. Maybe Atlanta wins by 2 again on a Younghoe coup field goal.
That.
I think I'm gonna take a shot at the Commanders. It's one of those another plug your nose, submit the bet. But Stu,
Where are you, Marty, on this?
I'm Falcons.
Thank you. All right.
I like Falcons. I think that Sam Howell is. I actually like Sam Howell. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. He does turn the ball over quite a bit, which I think that will help the Falcons' defense here because the Falcons' defense is good. It's crazy. Bijan Robinson has no rushing touchdowns yet. That's crazy.
Really?
he's had big numbers though.
He's had
Algier has them all.
he has reception.
I think he has two. Does he have 2 receiving touchdowns? Maybe.
Yeah, that's just crazy to see. He has 0 rushing
That is
touchdowns.
crazy, yeah.
But you know he's like last week. He had that behind the back like catch.
And he's had like multiple 100-yard games.
Still unbelievable, obviously. But I'm going Falcons. I think their Ridder isn't bad. Like he is a completely different player at home. It just is. When he's away, he sucks.
Zach Gallen of football.
Yeah.
Although Gallen doesn't suck on the road, but I see what you're saying.
Ridder is like the worst.
Yeah.
When he's not home.
Great last week. The best game of his career passing last week.
Yeah.
All right, next game. I love this game too. Saints minus 1.5 at Texans and my guy C.J. Stroud.
Oof.
The total is 42.5.
I'm scared of this game. I'm scared. I'm staying away. I'm scared of it.
Texans.
That's who I would take.
Give me the
I don't
Texans at
love
home.
that. That's a scary bet.
Give me the Texans at home. It's not my favorite bet of the week, but I really do like it.
One of the few games the money and sharps are on Saints. 90% of the money, 40% of the bets.
That kind of makes sense. The Texans are getting a lot of love right now.
Maybe that's going to make me take a step back. I'll definitely have to reevaluate. But as of now, I still do like the Texans. Saints are weird.
That's weird because I would expect everybody to be big on the Saints after that blowout victory at Gillette.
People are very like they're giving CJ what he deserves right now, but they're giving CJ Stroud his like flowers.
Yeah, no,
people also know the Patriots suck. So
you're right. Stroud and the Texans are becoming a little sexy. Like people just enjoy rooting for them. I think people are definitely come around that Stroud have unanimously decided he's like a very good rookie quarterback, which he's played that way.
Duke's just stared at. Like he was just when Clemmer made that Patriots just gets up and just.
Just using the Patriots like a cum rag.
Yep.
Yeah. And granted,
the Giants are getting used that way as well. I mean,
get your licks in now.
Okay.
granted,
Patriots suck.
Get your licks in. Now.
All right, it's fun. Patriots suck. I'll keep doing it.
Good.
For the Texans' point, the Saints did blow out the Patriots obviously last week, but remember what happened the week before? Yeah, Derek Carr was a little banged up. They got blown out at home to the Buccaneers.
Well, yeah, Baker's good. But yeah, you're right. The Saints are very streaky. I have no idea what to think of them yet. I really don't. Kamara.
They also have the Thursday night game next week.
Let me tell you, Kamara.
Jags Saints.
Kamara helps them. They are such a better team with Kamara. He has been producing for them very well for his first, what is this, 2 games back?
2 games now, yeah.
2 games. Yeah, this will be game 3, I believe.
Yep, that's correct.
Yes. Next game, speaking of the Patriots. Patriots +3 at the Raiders. Total is 41.
This is my pick of the week.
Ugh.
I'm taking the under. Raiders haven't scored 20 points in a game all year. Patriots offense is abysmal. Under 41.5. Let's go.
I'll tell you what, Clemmer, I might do the same.
You know who I love
I
here?
might do the same.
You know who I love here? And I might have to grab that over there and
Yeah,
take
Clemmer,
it off.
I know what you're going to
Patriots?
say.
Patriots.
I'm taking the Patriots here.
Clemmer, can you go grab the gambling graveyard for me and rip the Patriots off for me?
Oh, really?
I'm
Yeah.
ripping
Well,
off the
there's
Patriots.
3 Patriots on there, so you just rip one of them off.
Yeah, I am going Patriots here.
But just keep it at your seat because I'll probably put it back there on Monday.
Think about this, though. Think about this. Okay, Bears, right? Bears are in absolute turmoil. The team's awful.
Correct.
Caleb Williams is going to be – we're going to get Caleb Williams instead of Justin Fields. They come out Thursday night kind of beat up on the Washington Commanders. The Raiders are not like a team – like the Patriots can beat the Raiders. The Raiders have not been very good. They barely got by last week. The Patriots are right now talking about how Will Greer's going to get some reps soon. Like, Mac Jones might not be the guy. I see the Patriots winning this game.
The Patriots are so goddamn awful, but I saw something. This is a stink-off. It's the worst wide receiver separation-wise in the NFL against the worst pass defense against man in the NFL. So it's like something's got to give. And you know what? I've been talking all this shit all year. McDaniels versus Belichick. The disciple against the Jedi.
So this is gonna decide my bet, Dukes. What's their relationship now? Is it cordial? Is it like father-son, or is there spite and hate there?
There's something there where, honestly, like, I don't know if McDaniel's is a little bit, like, pissed off that he wasn't the one waiting in line for the job. And, Gerard Mayo kind of low-key got it, and that's why he left. That's a weird situation. I've been thinking the same thing, Smitty.
So
I think that it's one of those things we won so many Super Bowls together, like, it's like, fuck it, who cares? But, like,
yeah.
I think McDaniels wanted to be the guy in New England, and Bill wouldn't leave.
But there's 2 parts to that. Does that mean McDaniels is going to be more fired up to try to beat Bill? Or is Bill Belichick, which I think is the correct answer, is Bill Belichick that much of a spiteful prick that he's going to build it up for this game that much more?
He's been going against this type of offense for, like, 15 years.
How is Bill Belichick going to build that? He's got no players. The team stinks. What are we talking about here?
I love the Patriots this week.
What are we doing?
It's the battle. It's that meme, battle of mid.
Mid. This is not mid.
This might be my best.
It is when you have 2 average teams battling.
Best
The Raiders do have 2. The Raiders are 2 and 3.
This is not a
Not like
battle
total
of mid.
shitball.
It's Mac Jones versus Jimmy Garoppolo. It's battle of mid.
It's not a total shit bowl, but it would be the most boring game possible to watch.
Oh, it's going to be, I think, abysmal. And jump on that under.
Yeah, oh God, I almost want to take the Raiders, but if they hadn't fucked me literally 5 weeks in a row, I would take the Patriots. If they cover, God bless.
You want to take the Raiders?
I know I kind of want to take the Patriots, but I'm not going to. I'm not
taking
going
the Patriots.
I'm either take the Raiders or I'm going to take the under or nothing. I'll probably take the under
I'm taking the under
because I bet every game because I'm a sicko. With the Eagles, Smitty's Eagles -7, coming to MetLife to play the Jets.
You can get your licks in now,
The
dude.
total is 41. Smitty, I'll give you the floor first.
I'm not going to get licks in. This could kind of be like a letdown game for the Eagles. They haven't been covering that many spreads. Yeah, they covered last week against the Rams, but they play down the competition. The one thing that they do have that I don't think the Jets are going to be able to counter is they have the best run defense in the NFL. So that just takes out Breece Hall right away. So that means Zach Wilson going to beat you. I mean, he might be able to put together a good game. I think the line's right there. I think it's Eagles by 7. Seriously.
Yeah, when I see this, like I just think it's a tough matchup for the Jets. Like, I just think the Eagles are just not like Eagles are good enough. They have the ability to swallow up a team like the Jets and just overwhelm as like the D line overwhelm as Zach Wilson, the front 7 overwhelm as Zach Wilson.
This is a very ugly 20-13 game.
The over-under is 40.5, by the way.
Love the field goals in this game, too.
Smitty, there's part of me that kind of thinks you guys squish them.
That could happen too.
'Cause what I'm thinking is I think the Jets are kind of the stock's up a little bit on the Jets. The stocks went up. They have the good, like he looks good. Zach Wilson looks good against the Chiefs, prime time. They have a close game with the reigning Super Bowl champs. Then last week they go to Denver, they win. Yeah. He looks good again with Denver, even though they played good defense at least played good last night. They are atrocious.
Yeah, I don't know if the Jets are that bad at home for the Eagles to just completely say fuck you. And the Eagles aren't playing that well to be able to do that right now. But it could happen. It could be a 40-7 game.
I could see this, maybe not 40-7. I was thinking more like 27 to 10. Something like that. That's kind of what I was thinking in my head.
I just see kind of ugly. I see the Eagles making drives and not being able to finish in the red zone. A couple field goals here and there. Zach Wilson letting them down for a 50-yard field goal, 20-13.
I was thinking something where the Eagles are up 4 at half, and they and they come out and just dominate the second half was kind of where my head was at.
I'm just kind of worried to look at.
My read on the game is just I think that Aaron Rodgers just goes off. I think that it's a Jets masterclass. This is the best Jets team that they've had in years. To give the Jets 7 points, to give a Hall of Fame quarterback like Aaron Rodgers 7 points against the Eagles, disgusting.
How's Eagles John gonna play
Jets money line.
Yeah, how's your rookie cornerback working out?
Jets money line.
Did you see that Aaron Rodgers walked?
There you go. Well, he's hurt, so I guess we're making fun of injuries now, Dukes. Real classy.
He's injured? Shit, my bad.
With the Jets, I will say this, all kidding aside, they have a bye after this week. Let's say Zach Wilson has a real stinker of a game, which is very possible. I wonder if the Jets would consider making a quarterback move for that next game against the Giants. I don't know. If you're going to do it, though, that's the time to do it.
I think they're locked in.
You're probably right, but I'm saying if you're going to do it, though, if a move is going to be made, that's the time to do it.
Jokes aside, did you see the Vikings are willing to move off of Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
They're not totally turned down.
That would be wild if they actually did it.
I know.
If they really made this trade.
Jets would be 2-4 in theory. Is there enough time to save the season? I don't know. But if you're gonna do it, you do it immediately after.
I'm telling you, I think the draft capital that they need will be higher, will be bigger than you think. I think it's an early.
It would only be for 11 games.
I'm talking first, second round draft pick.
Not a first. It would not.
I think you'd be surprised.
Who are you bidding against?
I think second.
Who is offering a first?
I think they're just in a spot where they don't really need to trade them. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm thinking at least second. I think a second round is what it takes.
Could you see someone like the Raiders? The Raiders get a win this week, Ev, right? Could you see them doing a trade for a 4th round draft pick and Jimmy G?
No, because they wouldn't want that. Why would the Vikings want Jimmy G?
Also,
drafting a good quarterback, yes, but at least you know what you're getting out of Jimmy G.
I just think if they're moving on from Cousins, they're basically going all in, saying we're going to draft one of these good quarterbacks coming up in this draft. That's what I think.
I think you punt the whole year at that point.
Yeah, and Jefferson's out a bunch. They've already said if things go bad while he's out, they're not opposed to just kind of sitting him the rest of the year if things go really south.
Chad said he has a no trade clause.
Who, Cousins does?
But
yeah, he does.
I saw it all over Twitter. I saw he responded to them being I can't control this. So having a no trade clause and being I can't worry about the chatter and whatnot seems like a pretty.
I'm sure he could waive it if he wanted to.
He can, but all he had to say was, I'm a Viking. I want to be a Viking for life. I don't want to go. He did not say that. He said that I'm worried about the Bears this week, and that's obviously what he should say as well. But if he was really passionate about staying, you would know. And
but I don't. My bad, not to cut you off. I was going to say more that they haven't committed to him either. Yeah. So he's I'm not going to they could have extended him. Could have done any. They didn't do any of that. They let him be a lame duck quarterback. So. I don't blame him saying that because they didn't commit to him. So he's why would I commit to them when they haven't committed to me?
They're nervous in a way where it's they could do the Aroldis Chapman way where it's
trade and then re-sign him. But they're there's a lot of good quarterbacks. And NFL's, that'd be wild if they did that. I don't see that.
I'm just saying that there's the options.
Well, what if there's a little agreement there? Hey, Kirk, go and try to win a ring this year. We'll definitely take it back next year.
That's what I said.
A lot of draft picks.
That's what I said. Maybe they have that conversation with me. Listen, we don't want to trade you, but if you want to, go to a team that you can maybe get to the playoffs, maybe win, and then get them back. But also, the Vikings are probably looking at, they're not starting off hot. Jefferson's out. There's 4 very good quarterbacks they can take right now in the draft, and they don't have to pay $200 million to them. That's the way they probably want to go, right?
And that's what I would think the Vikings. And the roster's not in like, considering where they'd be drafting, the roster's not. Well, there's a lot of seasons left. We'll see where they'd be drafting. Let me preface it, but they have a potential to be like having an awful season, and on paper not be like as bad of a roster as
a horrid team.
Their record might be.
For what it's worth, I'm looking at I saw this thing the other day about Kirk Cousins where he will play next season. So this takes into account everything, and it's Vikings favorite, Patriots second, Raiders third, Titans fourth, Bears fifth.
I'll tell you what, Titans would make a lot of sense. Patriots would make sense too. I could definitely see the Titans. Titans would make a lot of sense.
It would, and the one thing I'm shocked by is that the Jets weren't there.
Oh, we have Rodgers.
Rodgers going to play.
But not even in the realm of like.
I think it's just because we've talked about much in the show. Like no one's ever traded for a quarterback mid-season like that. And as much as it sounds
Garoppolo.
Good, it sounds good in theory, but he didn't really like start though.
He went 4-0 with the Niners after being traded mid-season.
Same, but it was the same. You're right. That's right. But they have the
doesn't happen often.
The offense was like very similar.
Yeah,
like, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, he went in there, went 4-0 with a shitty team at the time. That Niners team was not good.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll go last few games in the NFL on Sunday. Cardinals at Rams. Rams are -7. The total is 49. Kind of a weird game. I almost feel like the Cardinals have been pretty good against the spread.
What's the line?
7.
No, not last week.
Not last week for sure, but
This game's gross.
this is plus 7's interesting. I probably lean the Cardinals right now. Almost, I might take the over. Seems so high, almost makes me want to take the over. Seems a little high for me.
Very high.
49 seems high for these teams.
As long as Stafford's there, and watching them last week against the Eagles, him and Kupp still got it.
Oh, dude, Kupp was on fire. He runs he just runs like a slant. They can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's just that good. The guy's an absolute stud. I lean Cardinals in the over. Anyone any hard takes or anything?
I like the over. I think 7's a little too much, but I like the over.
Yeah, if that was like a 5, I'd jump on the Rams, but 7's too rich for my blood.
So next game, this is honestly one of the better games of the weekend. I think it's gonna be a great game.
Real quick, if you're looking for any survivor picks and want to save some, the Rams this week before Stafford gets hurt might be a good little pick.
Before he gets
I've
hurt,
been dying for this guy to get hurt.
Dude, he get
He hurt his leg last year, but he hurt his leg last year. He's had some injuries in his career, but he's not like Mr. Injury. Maybe I'm off of it. He's gotten hurt.
He just seems so banged up.
He's gotten hurt. He's gotten hurt a few times. Well, I think the problem was last year. They'd started the year. I'll never forget the opening game after they win the Super Bowl. Is that he's on this pitch count. His elbow is fucked. He has chronic problems in his throwing elbow, which is a problem. But then he hurt his ankle. Yeah. He broke his ankle. So it was like he had two the injuries were not they were separate things.
I like Matt Stafford a lot. I mean, he's obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, top 10. Is he a top 10 all time?
Probably not.
Top 25.
20?
Definitely.
Top 10 would be a stretch.
Not top 10.
Top 25.
I mean, the Rams are 2-3, and they're not. They're at best right now equipped to maybe be a wild card team.
I think they're solid.
You think they're that solid?
The Rams. I think the Rams. I think they're a wild card team.
You think they're better than the Seahawks?
If they stay healthy, I think they're a
I
wild.
feel like the Rams and Seahawks are on the same level for me.
I would like.
I think the Seahawks are for sure better.
They're weird though because I don't totally disagree with you, Smitty. But then when they line up against each other, I kind of like the Rams against them head up.
Well, that's just NFC West football, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
anything can happen. Which is what this is.
They all have this round robin thing where this team has this team's number. This team.
That's what I mean. That's why I think those two are pretty even. Whoever has the better record might be that last wild card team. I
wouldn't be shocked if they both got a wild card. To be honest with you, because they could now. Because I mean the NFC East damn sure isn't getting 3 teams this year. In my opinion, they're gonna get 2.
Yeah, they'll get 2.
So they could be the team.
The Bucks. If the Bucks just keep hanging around.
It could be Bucks and the Saints
wins.
even. If they both keep playing well, one of them could be a wild card team. A lot of ball up though. Speaking of the Bucks though, like I said, one of my favorite games. I think this will be a really good game. Lions at Bucks.
Love.
Bucks are +3. The total is 42. As much as I love this Lions team, I think the Bucks +3.
Oh no!
Thank you.
I'm alone here.
I think
Baker
I
Mayfield.
think the Bucks +3 at home are the play.
Let's go Lions. The Lions are legitimately good. Lions all day. This is one of my favorite picks this week.
Why?
Because I don't think the Bucks are that good.
Well, like you have to give a reason for that.
'Cause I don't-
They're 3-1, and they're coming off a bye. Mike Evans is healthier.
He's back.
It's a soft
They
3-1.
They should, but they haven't said it yet.
Maybe
Is it soft 3-1?
I think they had a pretty soft schedule.
So
yeah.
would you say the Eagles are a soft 5-0?
Yeah.
You would.
But I trust the Eagles being good more than I trust the Bucs are good.
That's fair,
So the Bucs have beaten the Saints. They beat the Vikings
at Vikings.
at Vikings week 1, and what was the other
Bears.
win? And the Bears. Okay, so
Pretty soft.
not great, but not like horrible, but
I
not
think
great.
it's the softest.
It's
I mean,
soft.
at Minnesota, yeah, they're 1-4, but that's not an easy thing.
Minnesota's played a tough schedule.
Minnesota and the Bears? What
That
are
was
we doing
game
here?
1
We're
too.
we're
What do you-
pretending this
what
is
do you mean?
like
Minnesota. Like it's game 1. It was at Minnesota. It's a tough play. And the
Minnesota's
Saints.
not bad.
No, they're not bad. The Saints. Everyone picked them like to be the best team in the division.
Records
the-
don't
the
show
Mi-
teams.
Yeah, Minnesota and Saints, those aren't like soft losses. If they were playing the Panthers and then the Cardinals, yeah, okay.
they haven't
you can
played it
say that
tough.
they're
They haven't
soft
won
losses.
against anyone who's I think is going to be like a playoff team this year, right?
But it doesn't mean that they're soft.
The Vikings are the
We're
same
having a
team that
semantics
they
argument
were-
about soft now, but
No, the Saints. Why can't this? Everyone thinks the Saints are going to be a playoff team.
maybe I guess it'd be the Saints.
Well,
I guess so.
Well, the Saints
That's
not being a
fair, I
playoff
guess.
team would be the Bucs kind of like taking
Right.
the spot in
Yeah.
theory.
Yeah, I just don't think I think the Lions are legitimately good.
No, but my thing is the Lions can lose this game or win by less than 3. I still will think they're a very good football team.
Same.
Like them one like NFL is so like all the teams are so good. I think that the Bucs are like they've shown to be at least a solid team, at least like an average team at least.
Well, I think the Bucs also have a very good situation, which will help their win-loss for the season for sure. But I just think the Lions are
What's their good situation?
they're in a very weak division in a very weak conference.
But before the season, everyone said the Saints are going to run away with this thing, and they beat them. You don't think they did?
I don't think run away.
Run away, yeah.
I think people chose them as dark horse NFC conference champions because of the argument that they were like in a weak division and a weak conference. But everybody did say the Bucs could be not everyone, but I think people thought that the Bucs could be frisky with that defense.
The Bucs defense was going to
The
say.
biggest
The Bucs
question mark was
defense
Baker and Kyle
is-
Trask.
I give Marty credit because Marty did push back on Rico. Marty's like, this is not the worst team in the league.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
And
There-
Marty's,
there was-
I'm not saying the Bucs are the worst team or anywhere near the worst team in the league. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not saying that they've played the hardest schedule, but I don't think this is a huge test. The Lions are legit.
Yes,
like,
I agree.
We're in that. Are they an elite team this year? They're not there yet, I don't think. But we talked about that last week. Where
I'm of the belief if they go into Tampa this week and blow out the Bucs, I think that'd be impressive.
It's a statement.
Yes,
I think that's a true statement.
if the Bucs-
they would laid one bad game against the Seahawks, and they've been dominant pretty much everywhere else.
If it's
In
all
Kansas City.
if the Bucs if Baker does not turn the ball over, I think they win this game. I don't know. I feel like it's the defense is going to give Goff a little bit of a hard time. What's the injury reports on everybody? Do you know? Anyone knows? Like Gibbs, like.
Gibbs
Brown's
is
still
out
banged
last
up.
week.
Doesn't even matter though.
St. Brown's. It matters.
I would think St. Brown.
St. Brown matters.
Should
Brown
be
definitely
back.
matters.
Gibbs.
Is Laporta all good?
I don't know.
Yeah, I saw he missed practice.
Yeah, he missed.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like they're a little
St.
banged
Brown.
up.
St. Brown returns.
Yeah, I knew he was probably going to come back.
And how about Evans on the other side? He's
Evans
always banged up.
Should be good.
Sam Laporta back today.
Okay, so he's good.
All right, good.
If you practice Friday, you're playing.
I'll say this: if the Bucs beat the Lions even by 1 point, that's a statement game for the Bucs in my eyes, and then they would be elevated in my eyes. But until they can do that, I can't 100% trust them. I think the Lions is that a square pick taking the Lions? You guys gonna call me square for that one?
No.
All right.
No, this is a toss-up game.
It'll probably be like in terms of the betting,
Yeah.
like the money splits. I'd imagine it'd be.
If we're doing technicalities,
Really?
yes, you're being square.
I would imagine this. I
Lions are a
haven't
favorite
seen it.
team right now.
I was thinking it's like 60-40.
A team that's like as good as the Lions have, laying 3 on the road is usually a square
Okay,
spot.
fair. I was guessing 60-40, which I guess in that term would be
I
square.
would guess the Bucs are getting not a lot of tickets and a lot of money.
I have a hot take. I think Vegas nailed this spread.
Yeah.
It's Lions by 3.
Yeah, I sincerely think it's like going to be like a 4 or 3 point game.
I'd say they did a good job.
Yeah,
Dukes
those,
Mincy.
Those fuckers in Vegas.
Dukes, Mincy, Vegas did it again. What a line.
Clap it up for
I
Vegas,
have
yeah.
no opinion. they did it again.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
man.
My winner, Vegas.
Oh, man, that Vegas did it again.
The Lions, they could win by more than 3. They could not. I don't know.
It's Football Friday. Gotta get down on Football Friday.
We love you, Mincy.
Widespread panic.
Last game for Sunday, the Sunday night game, Giants, Daniel Jones list. I don't know if that matters in this game.
Well,
Maybe a little Tyrod revenge game.
revenge game, but one little problem.
Also, John Michael Schmitz is out, our center.
Andrew Thomas.
Andrew Thomas is officially out for the 5th week in a row. Aziz is out,
Aziz.
our second best pass rusher.
We don't know about
We're
Saquon.
going to Saquon. They saying I think might play. Not
Why?
sure.
Why?
For his sake,
I don't
should
know.
not play.
Smitty, I don't know. I mean, Smitty's only signed for this year.
Yeah.
I think the Giants. I don't think they're like trying to like preserve him as much as
On the other
I
side,
love Saquon as a guy and a player.
15.5 is a huge number.
So the number just went up a point with Daniel Jones being officially out while we've been recording the show. So yeah, it's
Tyrod Taylor, not a bad backup.
Not horrible.
no, probably
He
one
can come in and win games.
probably one of the better backups in the league, I'd argue.
He wasn't an awful starting quarterback till
No,
the
no.
Chargers
No.
medical staff stabbed him in the lung.
He has a he's one of those weird like career stat lines where if you looked at his stat lines, you'd be like, this guy's awesome, because he doesn't throw a lot of picks. So his touchdown to interception ratio is
Yes.
strong. It's strong.
I think like 25 years from now, there's going to be a kid who's like a nerd like me looking at the football encyclopedia and it's like, why didn't this guy play more? Like, what happened to this guy's career?
He's been benched. He's been the guy that's been benched for like the next guy like 3 times in a row. You know,
Yeah.
with the Baker, they did it on the Browns. I remember they
Yep.
benched him and he came back and won that game against the Jets.
Yeah, I
think it
remember
was
that
a-
very well.
I think it was a
It was
Thursday.
a Thursday night game. It was
I
a prime
remember
time
it.
game, yeah.
He did it. It was the same thing with Herbert. He was playing well, and then the Chargers drafted Herbert. Herbert coming, obviously, he's now Justin Herbert that we know. I know what happened at least those 2 times. But yeah, the Bills are just now 15.5. Has the total moved? They're done 44.5 points.
44 right now.
So it went down a half a point.
I'm
Spread went-
taking the Giants.
Spread went up a point. So Giants was 15.5. I'll probably. I said I wouldn't take the Giants anymore. I probably won't.
Were you taking Marty?
I'm taking the Giants.
I said I wouldn't take them again. I didn't take them last week. I took the over, which lost by the hook, which was
Bro,
disgusting.
Tyrod's gonna be back. It's a revenge game. It's all about Tyrod.
Oh, man. You know what you guys might see? If we all were streaming that game, right? Sunday night? Are we
Probably,
streaming it?
yeah.
If we stream that game,
We are.
you could see me win the Monster Money Line parlay in front of you guys.
Oh, the Bills
Maybe.
beating the Giants.
Yeah, so, right. That,
Minus what? What's it? Minus what?
that one, well, it was when I got it. I think it was minus 900. Now it's minus 1,200. It's part of the parlay.
Yeah, you beat the line. You got the line. Better line.
How about that? No, and if I win, I will dance in front of you, Marty.
The Panthers knocking off the Dolphins would be unreal.
That would be unreal. With the Giants and Bills, if the Bills didn't just lose in
Yep.
London,
Mhm.
I'd say, okay, maybe it's a letdown game. Giants could cover. Bills are going to put up 50.
I literally was going to almost say the over, and you're hoping for the Giants to score like 1 touchdown.
Yeah. it's got to be. It's got to
Oh
be.
man, I'm not. As a Giants fan, I'm not looking forward to this one.
I want nothing more than quarterback controversy between Tyrod Taylor and Dillon Jones. I want nothing more than.
Oh, God.
I want nothing more than giving a guy.
That statement.
$40 million
That
a
statement
year.
almost made me pee myself.
Yeah.
I almost like piss puked at the same time. Oh God. All right, we went through all the NFL games. Obviously, Monday night game we'll go through on Monday.
Yep.
I'll go through back at least the picks today. Everyone had picks today.
Oh wait, real quick.
Go ahead.
Fucking, I'm not even kidding, and this is for basically me and you. I'm very excited to watch Logan Paul and Dillon Danis tomorrow.
The chat in the beginning of the show goes, I swear to fucking God, if they bring up Logan Paul at the end of the show. So this is a callback to like an
They're
hour
on to
ago.
us.
Yeah, I told them I was going to bring it up to troll their
Let me
asses.
tell you,
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I'm interested. Crazy if you're not.
I'm
the
intrigued.
beef. The beef. I want to watch them fight now.
100%.
Is the fight 100% going to happen? Because I heard some
Yeah,
stuff
it's
that
coming.
might.
I think it's gonna happen.
Okay.
Oh,
Did you see the stuff
Tomorrow.
this morning?
Yeah, Dillon Danis is a little scared.
They're trolling
The weight.
the Jake Paul shit.
The
No,
weight.
the weight. Logan missed weight, and then he didn't. He was supposed to do it before 11 a.m. and he didn't. But he made weight
I was
after.
gonna say I thought he weighed in correctly. I saw
They're
something.
completely fine.
Yeah.
Dillon,
I thought that it was most in jeopardy because he bounced the fucking mic off Logan Paul's head. His head was leaking blood.
Yeah, he cut gash in his face.
Also, honestly, that clip was unreal. He smoked him with that mic.
Yep.
And then one of Dillon Danis' boys, like sniped. I don't know if you saw that, like a slow mo through a water bottle.
Yeah.
It literally split, like it was like splitting like coverage, and just hit him when the water bottle square.
Like maybe he should like get a football in his
It
hand.
looked like a slow mo, like NFL films. Like I want to like put like that guy. What's the guy's voice? Like
Steve Staple. Now it's a lot. Liev Schreiber.
Yes, I literally wanted him to like talk over the pass in slow mo, as it just like splits the coverage and just hits him right in the fucking head. But I'm just the amount of shit that's been talked. That's the reason I want to watch it. I'm gonna be on a flight. I land in Newark at like midnight.
Who do you like in the fight?
No, wait,
I mean, Logan, it's like
Saturday.
tomorrow night.
It starts at like 3.
Oh, it's in the afternoon.
It's in London.
Oh, so I'm definitely gonna miss it.
Yeah, I think it starts at what's 14 o'clock.
It's 3. That's 2 o'clock.
It's
2
2.
o'clock.
Everything's minus 12, Marty.
So maybe I can catch
Jesus,
it before my
Army
flight.
time?
You didn't know that, Marty?
They were doing it. No, I do know, but I was just making sure it's around there.
And the funniest thing is, he's at 14 o'clock and not 1400.
Yeah, it's always minus 12, Marty.
Yeah.
No, Marty, I'm with you.
Sometimes when you look at 14, you like, don't feel like doing
The
it.
stupidest thing he said, Clemmer, was saying 14 o'clock and not Army time 1400.
No, I think not knowing 14 minus 12 is 2 is stupider.
All right, if you start going to like 1700, that gets hard.
Yeah, around.
No, that's 5.
I know,
This
but
is
No,
not hard. None
I
of
don't
this is
know fucking
hard.
do math.
19's tough.
Why does that not surprise me?
19's tough.
I know math.
7 o'clock stuff.
Yeah, 7 o'clock.
Oh my god.
All right, so I would say, and just because you brought that up, I'll give just real quick some of that UFC plays I like. Give me Daniel Lacerda plus 275, and give me Christian Rodriguez, the young phenom, minus 150. Those are 2 plays I like a lot on the UFC card on Saturday night. Yeah, I'm excited to watch just the amount of shit that's been talked. I want to watch the fight.
He
So
has.
if I'm able to watch it, I will watch. It's just, or I'll watch it for free.
What's the line in the Logan Paul fight? Like, what is it?
Minus like 1,000.
Oh, so he's like
850.
an incredible favorite.
You got to take like
He's
by
much
knockout.
He's much bigger. He's like.
Drake has bet on Logan Paul
longer.
KO. And
I-
also, let me
I
tell
kind
you
of think
something.
Dillon Danis is going to put up a better fight than people think, but I have nothing to really base it off of, other than just it's kind of one of those things where I think sometimes in fights, it's actually happened kind of at Marty's fight, where one guy is considered as like the bigger, tougher guy, and they act as if the guy across from him is just like a tackling dummy, like he's not even human punching back at you. Dillon Danis has never boxed anything like that. He's legitimately all whatever you want to say about him as a person. He truly is like world-class jiu-jitsu. So he is, which has nothing to do with boxing, but in terms of combat sports, he is tough. Like I'd imagine he'd be durable on some level. I'd imagine he could take a punch on some level. We're gonna find out Saturday night. I'm not saying like bet Dillon Danis.
Logan Paul is in a world of he's in a kind of a lose-lose because if he
has to embarrass him.
If
I think he has to like
Danis-
smoke him.
If Dillon Danis stays, if it's a split decision, that's a win for Dillon
Yeah,
Danis,
for sure.
no matter what. If Dillon Danis wins, the internet will break.
Dude, I've said if he like knocked out Logan Paul,
it'll break.
it literally would be like it's just like the villain winning, like the most shit talking villain ever. Like he has done the most vile shit to Logan Paul's fiance this whole fight. So for him to do all that and then win as like a plus like 700 underdog.
Yeah.
But if
we've
Logan
never seen him throw a punch really. And he fought twice in Bellator where he got clipped by bumps and then submitted them, like pulled guard, submitted them. Like I said, he's world class jiu-jitsu. He was McGregor's jiu-jitsu coach. He's elite in that aspect.
no one even cares about the fight.
It's
after.
not boxing.
KSI versus Tommy.
Tommy Fury's gonna smoke KSI. I think
cares.
he's way bigger. He's a better
100%.
boxer.
I always said this. I was saying this week. Dillon Danis is kind of like Elon Musk. Elon Musk will be like, "Oh, just watch out. 10 years from now, like I'm gonna send a man to Mars." And he talks all this talk, never fills up to the expectation. Dillon Danis is like, "You don't want to see me fight. You don't know what I could do with these hands. Like I'll fuck you up." And he's the biggest hold me back guy of all
Let
time.
me tell you
So to
something.
see him actually get in and fight someone for the first time since like so I have seen since like 2016, where I knew who he was. I'm excited for that.
He
factor of
is
it.
the biggest loser of all time, and
Master
he acts
boxer,
hard. He acts like he's got like a gang behind him.
biggest hold me back guy.
My guy, you live in Hoboken, so shut the fuck
Oh, what's
up.
wrong with living in Hoboken?
Yeah, you don't act like you're the hardest guy in the world.
Frank Sinatra's from Hoboken.
He acts like he has people have to like ask him for respect when he comes to New York.
Clemmer. Somebody's never seen all the waterfront here, obviously.
I don't even hear.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Hoboken. Yeah, why are we going on Hoboken?
Waterfront's lovely.
Yes.
Who in Hoboken acts like people have to ask respect for
Frank
people who come to
Sinatra.
New York? Yeah, Frank Sinatra.
He
not
can't
Dillon
even get into
Danis.
Green Rock.
He can't even get to Green Rock. I got to get Dillon Danis into Green Rock.
I'm sure Danis can get in the Green
Nah,
Rock.
he can't.
Yeah, he can get in the Green
Nah,
Rock.
he can't.
People don't know who Dillon Danis was in the chat. That's just stuff.
I didn't know who he was.
That's crazy.
I mean,
you
if
live
that
under
makes
a
sense.
rock.
If you're not in that world, I can understand.
No, I think
he
you're
is
living under a
He
rock.
is like pretty famous, but
This has been everywhere.
it's been huge.
And everywhere, I think if you're a certain age group or,
No,
or
this
you're really
year,
or
I'm
you
not
like combat
saying-
sports.
I'm not saying you shouldn't have known him. You shouldn't have known him before this, but this is like,
Oh, now I know him, right?
He's been
story.
carrying this promotion on his back.
Yeah.
and he gets no.
Like, as much as Logan, I imagine this has been like brutal for him, not having all the shit with his fiance, whatever. It has made him every time Dillon Danis has tweeted whatever he's tweeted has made him so much money. He's
Dillon Danis gets
disgusting
no,
amount of money in
no
Logan Paul's
pay-per-view
pocket.
money.
Marty, I have to read something from the chat that's gonna break your heart. It's very mean.
Oh,
Don't take it
nice.
personally. He said,
Well, you just said-
Gatorman23 said Dillon Danis would destroy you.
Oh, I would fuck up Dillon. I actually would beat him up.
What?
He would. Boxing, I'd beat
Marty.
him. In boxing, I'd beat him.
Marty.
Don't
Guarantee.
Marty.
I'm not even fucking around. If I got to train for 4 months, I would beat Dillon Danis in a boxing match.
You'd become a meme. You get knocked out so
No, I
hard.
wouldn't.
You'd become a meme.
No, I wouldn't.
Marty, as a married man, I would ask Rhea if he would want to make that fight first.
I would make a lot of money. I would do it.
You would make a lot of money,
I'd make a ton.
I'd root
but
for you,
this
Marty.
guy's a fucking asshole.
You do have a.
He's an asshole, but that's why I probably wouldn't do it to deal with all that. To be honest,
What if you got paid $1 million to do it?
I don't honestly know if I would because I
Really?
wouldn't want to deal with. I obviously $1 million. I think about.
You
The way
see
he's
Logan, but
attacking-
you're getting in muddy waters.
It's a muddy waters.
There's
I don't
no,
want
there's
that.
no.
I didn't think about that.
There's no line that cannot be crossed.
This
Yeah.
guy is such
Yeah.
a scumbag. This
He
guy's
is a
that bad.
scumbag.
Huh?
I also.
He basically, so I'll give Clemmer the fill-ins, or anyone who doesn't know Dillon Danis.
Yeah.
He basically, for the last few months, have been posting. So Dillon Danis, or Logan Paul's fiance, Nina Agdal, she's a model. She's been very online.
Okay.
She's dated the likes of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Famous for.
She's
20
dated. She dated the Maroon 5 guy too, right? Adam.
She
She dated a bunch of A-list. Like
Yeah.
He's basically slut shaming her.
Yeah.
He has been posting videos of, some have been real, pictures of him with her old couples of just them making out, and then also he's done some troll ones of her with wretched looking fans too.
Yeah.
And those are more funny, but then he started getting deeper of she posted videos of her being I need dick right now, that from her Snap story or whatever. Then I guess he did a bunch of that, and then what really went over the line that she is suing him over
Oh my gosh.
was, I guess he found some, I haven't even seen it. I've some sort of, I don't know if it was a sex tape, but it was something of her nude or
It wasn't
something.
her though.
Was it not her?
So the video.
I was
came
confused
out-
by the last part because it wasn't. He said it's all public record. He didn't go find these things, which I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. But
I didn't see the video, but the people said that there was a video of a girl giving someone head, and it was her, and it wasn't. It came out. Obviously, it wasn't. So it's defamation right there, and it's very fucked up. It's this girl has nothing to do with the fight. You can say something about her, but every day he tweets a picture of her, and it's so basically he's being sued so much that he's just gonna lose money on this fight. Because he gets no pay-per-view.
She's suing him, and then that's kind of got some pushback on Logan because kind of being regardless of how bad it's been, it's the fight game. Don't sue him, fucking knock him out, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Don't be
And they also don't go after
and he-
wives and girlfriends.
he's kind of played
and weird.
It's
the fight game is the
There's a
one thing
line.
where there's lines and there's
Right.
everyone's line is different. And he's someone who
Yeah.
he's single. He doesn't have a girlfriend right now. He has no kids.
He has a kid. He has 2 kids. One he does. One he.
Oh, that's what he was
talk
saying at the
to.
press conference. He doesn't. Yeah.
Well, he actually one actually just got born. He posted pictures.
He was saying it wasn't true or whatever. Yeah, I don't know the facts or not.
One's definitely he has one, but the one
The lines are very. He just has no. He's a great marketer. I think
he's
no,
a piece of shit.
he's been a piece of shit to market, but the marketing has been above and beyond. There's
Yeah.
so many more people are going to watch this fight because of what he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's also fucked 2
It's been
podcasts at
crazy.
Barstool, so fuck him.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey, I was supposed
stood
to
up large
He
and
stood up
stood
Robbie
back
that we
fast.
weren't here. Yeah, I wasn't here, but they were supposed to interview him and he bailed. But yeah, I guess we'll just to end. I'll say everyone say the picks for tonight. I'll go. For tonight's slate, I have Memphis plus 4.5, Utah State plus 4.5. I have Stanford plus 11.5 and Stanford Colorado over 59.5. Marty, you got anything tonight?
Tonight I'm just taking Colorado. That's it.
Clemmer?
Nothing tonight. Obviously football on Sunday.
Dude's got
puck action, baby.
Memphis.
Devils minus 1.5.
Memphis, baby.
Let's go. Smitty, what you got?
Devils -1.5. Puck action.
And
Colorado under.
Follow our guy, Mr. Ice. He's 2-1.
Absolutely.
And the overhead. Mr. Ice is 2-1. Shout out to Elio.
All good?
See you guys this week or next week. We love you. Like the stream. Like. Thank you very much. God bless. Hope we got some winners. See you Monday.